is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show.
Great, you got a doorbell camera. Now you got a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
No.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Get out of my house!
Ooh, Mom's jewelry. There goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. At Sloan's, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, a free doorbell camera.
Free?
One that'll actually work for you. It's not total security unless it's the Sloan Shield. Call 1-800-ALARM-NATE.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys?
Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business, car key replacements, and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available, from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, aka the Big O, he covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Offense to the heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, lollipop blow in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show O's on the radio, the top's where we gonna go, Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, Big O, no one
Viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by EJDconstruction.com, where you can trust their team of construction experts. American Dream Lending. Go to adreamlending.com. Stop dreaming and start living your best life. Perdermo Cigars. Experience a Perdermo way. Go to PerdermoCigars.com.
The Big O Radio Show originates from the OK Coin Studios. OK Coin is one of the largest fiat to crypto trading platforms in the world. Founded in 2013, OK Coin offers advanced features for crypto beginners and high-volume traders alike, enabling users in 184 countries worldwide. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the OK Coin Studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
It's the Bitcoin Show, yeah, or the Big O Radio Show, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, welcome aboard, y'all. Hope you all are doing well out there. Thank you all for tuning in. I do have to start the morning off communicating because apparently some of you, and this happens in life, remember the telephone game? Guys, remember the telephone game when you were a kid? I don't know if they still do it now, you know, in today's world. I have no idea. I'm sure in the COVID world, they didn't do it the last 2 years. But pre-COVID, the telephone game was where you were in a circle and somebody told one person something, and then they had to tell the next person and the next person, the next person, the next person. By the time it got to the last person, and then that person said what he heard or she heard, it was completely different than what was the original message. Right? So I get a message yesterday. They reach out to me from OK Coin, since we are broadcasting live every day from the OK Coin Studios. Hey, people are asking us about $100 for them in Bitcoin. What are you doing? What are you promoting? And I'm like, I'm not promoting anything. And those of you that are reaching out to OKCoin, did I not tell you to reach out to me so I can give you the link? You can't go to OKCoin. They're not going to give you the link. I have to give you the link for the $50 free of Bitcoin. Okay? It's $100. You get 50, I get 50, but it's my link. You can't ask OKCoin for it. So again, for those of you that want to start investing or opening an account, okay, send me a DM. Now, there's a tweet that I just retweeted. I posted it yesterday. I retweeted today. It has the OKCoin my link where we can split $100 of Bitcoin. But do not reach out to OKCoin. You cannot get it. It's a refer a friend link. It's my link. You're my friends, and I'm referring it to you so you can get the $50 free of Bitcoin. Okay? So, but again, it entails you also investing. I think you got to invest $100 initially, which I'm sure all of you are going to invest something. So there it is. So you can get your $100 of Bitcoin. But you have to reach out to me on Twitter at Big O Show, email if you want, BigORadioShow@yahoo.com. However you want to reach out to me, and then I'll send you. I can't do it on the YouTube chat board, okay? But you have to reach out to me. Do not reach out to OKCoin. The good thing, the only good thing I told OKCoin is, hey, they're listening, because several people reached out. Hey, promise me to split $100. Give it to me. And they're like, yo, that's not us. You got to, I told you, me, it's my link. Okay. So don't allow the telephone thing to go and call OKCoin. And then you're lying to them because you didn't pay attention. Pay attention. Listen, I'm here. I'll give you the $50 free of Bitcoin. It's great. I want you to get it. But you got to send me a text on the, on the DM or on Twitter or whatever, or email, and I'll send you the link. Okay? That's funny. That's funny. Hey, man, they're reaching out to us saying you want to give them that we're giving them $100 of Bitcoin. I'm like, no. I told them that we'd split it and they have to reach out to me. And I said them it's the friend link. And they go, oh, okay. We figured that there was some misunderstanding. When you work with the public, it is and I know you're the public out there, but anybody that works in retail knows what I'm talking about. People just don't pay attention. They just don't listen. They hear whatever the hell they want to hear, and then they just go off. So again, reach out to me and I will send you the link. Okay. And you can get your $50 free of Bitcoin. You guys are a trip, man. I don't even know. I wonder if I could post it on the chat board. Let me try that a second, just for the hell of it. Let me see if I could actually do it and post it on the chat board. Let's see. I don't know if I could. I don't know if it'll allow me because it's, maybe they think it's some kind of spam or something. But I don't think it'll allow me to do it on the chat board. But I'm going to try for you guys because, wait a minute. Where is it here? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. I got to lower this. Okay. Okay, let's see if I can do it. Let's see if it comes out. No, right? No. See, the link didn't come out. See, it just says buy crypto on OKCoin and we'll both earn. It doesn't necessarily come out. See, that's why I can't put it on the chat board link for you guys. So I apologize, can't put it on the chat board link. That's why I said email me or DM me, and I will send you the link, and you can get your $50 free of Bitcoin. Okay? So there you go. I tried to put it on the chat board for you all. Okay? Big O, I clearly heard you say my link. I know, but apparently a bunch of people that called the K-Coin, they were bitching and complaining, and they weren't paying attention. So what can I tell you? But anyway, there you go. Okay? So good morning to all out there. Last night, that was fun, by the way, watching the Heat take care of business against the Celtics, 106-98. Now, while it was a sweet win for them, it's a nice start now. You've got Chicago on Saturday. Take care of business. Get on a roll now. Remember what I told you yesterday? That night or last night was going to be a nice start. And sure enough, they got it done. And they played well, and they finished strong, and Strus starting was terrific. Had that block at the end. He had 2 blocks, right? He had 2 blocks, and he had 3 steals. You're never going to get that from Duncan Robinson. You're never going to get that from Duncan Robinson, ever. And it took him a couple of months. I wish he would have done it earlier, but whatever. And again, I am dead set now convinced this is the better role for Duncan Robinson. And even if somebody trades him, they've got to make him a 6th or 7th man, like a lightning bolt off the bench for extra offense. And he gets to face the backups of the teams. That's also better for Duncan Robinson. Max Strus has an edge to him. Max Strus wants to play defense. Max Strus plays with moxie on the defensive side of the court. I'm not talking about the offensive side of the court. And so for me, when I see the Strus being loose, he scores 4 of 9 from 3-point range. He had 7 rebounds, 3 steals, 2 blocks. This is a Heat player. Okay? Nothing against Duncan Robinson, but he's a finesse player. He's not a Heat player. He's a finesse player. Finesse players are not Heat players. Those are the facts. You want to play on this team, you got to have some kind of an edge. Duncan Robinson is the old golly gee whiz guy. He's the kid that belongs on Mayberry RFD. And I'm sorry, I would love to have the equivalent of it now. What is the equivalent? What is the modern day equivalent? What TV show is Mayberry RFD? Right? Because Duncan Robinson could be what's Howard's name? Oli, something with an O, right? Otter or forgot what the hell it was. But that's Duncan Robinson. Wholesome,
it's
good
Opie.
Kid. Opie, there you go. I knew it was something with an O. Opie. Duncan Robinson's an Opie. He can't even be a little rascal. Again, I need a more modern day reference. But anyway, I'm just saying, Strus, and it's not because I've been talking about this for months now. That Strus should be starting. Okay, it's not so much that, but it's a better fit. It's just he's not the weak link like Duncan Robinson. You are the weakest link. That's right. You stand in the middle of the court every single game, right? And you look at Duncan, you say, you are the weakest link. And that's because he is. And if he's not shooting well, he is absolutely useless. Like, useless. Like, there's no need to have him on the court, basically. In fact, he should just stay on the offensive side of the court. Just wait there. All right, guys. I'll be here. and just let them play defense with 4 guys. That way, the fast break, they have at least some kind of an advantage with Duncan Robinson. I know I'm exaggerating. Relax. I'm Cuban. That's part of me. But no, seriously, it was nice to see the Strus being loose last night, and I think that becomes a real factor. Ron G says, Heat are lucky Robert Williams is hurt. It's funny, and I'll bring Ira on tomorrow. I told Ira 2 years ago Robert Williams was the best center on the Celtics. He hemmed and hawed because they had 3 guys, this and that, and as a fantasy player that follows the whole league and watches the whole league, and sure enough, he's developed into the better center of the league. And so, yeah, it's they were definitely missing. They were definitely missing him. But in the end, where I think that comment's a bunch of bullshit is the Heat have been the best team in the conference the entire season. They've been better than Boston. And by the way, my brother Ron, when Boston shows up and shows balls for the first time, it'll be the first time they actually show any balls. So when Brown and Tatum's little BBs actually fall in the playoffs, call me Ron G. Call me, buddy. Reach out to me, Ron G. When the Celtics grow up and, I don't want to hear about the Williams thing. I like Williams. I've been way ahead of you on Williams. Okay, and I'll bring on Ira tomorrow because he'll be my witness because I told him this 2 years ago that Williams was the best center on that team. But don't brag about the Celtics, bro. The Celtics are pussies. Until proven differently, they're pussies. Okay, Ron G? So let's just get that straight. Let's just understand where we're at right now, my brother. It ain't about Williams. It's about Tatum and Brown. I don't want to hear about little regular season successes. I want to see if their BBs grow in the postseason, buddy. Okay? They don't even have Tyler Hero's balls in the bubble. Okay? They've never even performed in the playoffs like Tyler Hero. And Tyler was a baby 2 years ago, Ron G. So please don't tell me anything about the Celtics. Don't brag about the Celtics. Don't tell me that there's oh my God, anything. You don't fear the Celtics. Okay, my brother? You don't fear Jason Tatum and Brown at all. So let's get that straight, Ron G, before you try any Williams tough talk. Okay, buddy? So please leave that Celtic talk. Maybe in the Boston area, they believe that bullshit. But right here on this show, we're not falling for any of that. So you can tell me all that stuff. Maybe, you know what? Maybe you can sell that to somebody on QAM, and they'll believe it because maybe nobody on that station actually follows the league, but I follow the league. So and leave the Boston talk. Boston are a bunch of wussies. They're cast-offs until proven otherwise. Williams. Oh, wait, Boston. Oh, we got to fear them. Yeah. What example? Yeah. I mean, anybody that tries to talk up Boston, you're a joke. Okay? You're a joke. Please, dude. Heat Fins, we own the Celtics. I mean, it's just like, give me a break, dude. Who are the Celtics? What, are we going back to the big 3, or we're going to go back all the way to Larry Bird, or what? We're going to talk about those teams that actually had an edge in toughness? Brown and Tatum? Give me a break, dude. Oh, damn sure will. Oh, Ron G, please, dude. Please don't embarrass yourself anymore trying to brag about the Celtics. Please don't embarrass yourself. No, a Green Lion. I know I'm 100% right. Nobody can argue with me on that one. I mean, who could defend the Celtics? It's like ridiculous, Oh, wait till Williams is back. I mean, I will crush anybody that tells me that stupid ass shit. You know what I mean? Any basketball analyst, I get Ron G, he's a fan, whatever. But I would love for an analyst to tell me that. Oh, well, they were missing Williams. Give me a break, dude. Get the hell out of here. Spineless Celtics. Give me a break. The only good thing I liked about last night is that the Heat showed me a little bit of an edge again. And they got back on track. Now, this is just scratching the surface. Show me everything's been put away and you've moved on. You know what I mean? Because that dust up, that doesn't just go away. As many people, a lot of people think, oh, that's just a misunderstanding. No, those things linger. And if things don't go well from here on out, they magnify. You want to put it away, you got to play well. So last night, the Heat started to get their edge back. The win means nothing if you lay an egg against Chicago on Saturday, and then you're pointing fingers again. So let's also come down to reality. Let's not get where my man Ron G is, that he gets all excited about the Celtics when really they're the Celtics. So let's also, even though the Heat is a much better, team and character and toughness and everything than the crappy ass Celtics, but they still got tripped up here. They need to kind of get a couple of games together to show that they've kind of pushed this aside and they've moved forward. Okay. So while I enjoyed the win, I wasn't surprised because it is the Celtics. You still have, unlike Ron G, who gets, slightly impressed by something that the Celtics do, I'm not that impressed by what the Heat did last night. It was just nice. You want to show me what you were doing before? String them together now here down the stretch. Show me that you're now back to being the Heat team that can play defense, that can get in people's faces, that the rotation is rolling a lot better now. And listen, we're all guilty. We're all guilty of this. And we're all stupid, by the way. Okay? And let me tell you why we're all stupid, including the Miami Heat. Years ago, Pat Riley had to get Alonzo Mourning back into the lineup after Anthony Mason was traded for, was the centerpiece of the offense, and it was going great. They won 50 games, all that. He forced Zoe back in. Terrible move. Riley will tell you that. And then we also thought, no, you got to get Zoe in there, bro. Zoe's the man. Zoe's the face of the franchise. But he killed the offense. He absolutely annihilated the Heat offense at the end of the year. It ruined everything that they had. And guess what? We're effing morons. And we did it again. And by the way, we did it with a player that is not even Zoe. Like, Zoe had put time, Zoe was the man. Like, you got to put him back on the court because he's freaking Alonzo Mourning. But Victor Oladipo means nothing to the Miami Heat. He's never accomplished anything with the Heat. There's nothing in the rafters. There are no memories with Victor Oladipo, yet we're the bunch of freaking idiots. And now we're going to learn our lesson. Because if this ever happens again in the future, I'm going to say, no, never put him back in again. Give him scrub minutes and work him in. That's it. And that's what you have to do with Oladipo and with Markieff Morris, because it was a crime to do what you did to Anthony Mason in the offense. Riley figured that out, and so did I and everybody else in hindsight. And it's a crime what you've done to Strus and to Gabe Vincent and to all these young cats that they're the reason why you're here. And all of a sudden we're casting them aside because we need to get Oladipo and Markieff Morris in there. And we pay the price again. We pay the price again. And Eric Spoelstra made the same mistake that Pat Riley made. And I made the same mistake that Pat Riley made and that Eric Spoelstra made. I was the same cheerleader going, yeah, no, can't wait for Oladipo. Oh, my God, if we add Oladipo, oh, it will make the defense better. Oh, it's another playmaker. Oh, it's right. That's what we were doing. We thought it was the panacea. And it wasn't. It was wrong. And it threw everything off. And it was a crime what we did to those kids. Yeah. So now they've got to get their groove back. They showed it last night. Now you got to keep it going because it's playoff time. I'm sorry, the train has left the station. We're chugging along. We have no more time to stop by and pick up any more passengers. It is time to move forward. Oladipo and Markieff Morris will be used accordingly. There's fouls. Okay. Injuries. Okay. Blowouts. Okay. You get blown out. Whatever. But you cannot no longer force the square peg in the round hole when there's nothing wrong with the team. And Pat Riley had nothing wrong with the team with Mason. But again, how the hell do you ease in the franchise player? You don't. He's Alonzo Mourning, but it effed everything up. And unfortunately, Oladipo is not a franchise player anymore, but we kind of looked at him like a semi-savior to even lift us even more, right? That's what we were looking at, and we were wrong. And there are times in life when you're just dead ass wrong, and you just got to admit it. And I know I was wrong. And every one of you that wanted Oladipo right away, we were all wrong, and we did not look at the big picture. We got Gordon Gekko. We got greedy. Things were great. We didn't really need the greed. And yet we still demanded the greed. And the greed burned us. So. Super V says, people, the Big O is not falling for the banana in the tailpipe when it comes to the Celtics. LOL. Hell no. I've seen that story many times. Until they do something else, proven something else, then we'll believe it. Stop, Big O. Ron G's already damaged by your facts. Let him live a long life, boss. Big O, you're so mean. You hurt Ron G's feelings. We love Ron G. It's just, he's misplaced. The Heat are missing a dependable go-to scorer. Oladipo, when healthy, is more than anyone on this team. Yeah, when is he healthy, Andy? Did you see him come back? He already got back spasms? Bro, right now, Oladipo couldn't hold Caleb Martin's jock. Are we clear on that? Okay? Oladipo should be sitting on the sidelines asking for Max Strus, asking for his autograph. Asking Caleb Martin, wow, I wish I could be like you. I'm not sure what you're watching, Andy Rivas, but after what you just watched, the fact that you still think Oladipo's going to be some kind of a savior when the guy can't stay healthy for anything. He's got back spasms now. I mean, it's just like it's amazing. Like it's happening in front of you, and yet you still think something else is going to happen anyway. Yet for 3 years, this is who he is. The Heat slow walked this entire thing for him to get healthy, and the dude still he plays a couple of minutes and he can't stay healthy. Wow. Andy, you got issues, my brother. You don't learn very well. Johnny Rotten, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Wow. Some people see the obvious, and then some other people, wow, they just, holy moly. Johnny Rotten chiming in again with another super chat. Thank you, sir. Back-to-back super chats. Oladipo better go to work at Home Depot. You better go find a place where they could give him a new body. So he needs. That body's that Humpty Dumpty looks more durable than Victor Oladipo. Okay? Chase Barrett says you cannot expect to win a championship with Jimmy and Bam as your best players. It's unrealistic. I don't think it's I disagree with you on that because you have more than just those guys. It's a team. So you have other guys that will help you out in other areas. Gilbert Martinez, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Come on, everybody. Smash the like button, says Tiger Shark Tony. Please smash the like button, all of you out there. By the way, we got a loaded show for you today. Yesterday we did a lot of yesterday we didn't have much. Yesterday we had 2 interviews? No, 1 interview in 3 hours plus. And we had obviously the Inside the Paint show. So that I didn't have any guests. We only had 1 and in 3 hours. So I was like yesterday, yeah, I'm not going to do the talking before the Inside the Paint also. You know what I mean? It's like we're going to do enough talking throughout the 3 hours without any guests. And we don't do repeat guests, repeat interviews, repeat segments. We don't do that here. We move on with new material always. You know what I mean? We don't do lazy radio here. So it's a lot harder what we do than anything they do in radio. It's not even close. So Heat, by the way, Saturday will be in Chicago, 8:00. We'll see what happens with the boys. Tonight, the Blackhawks are visiting the Panthers, 7:00, ESPN Plus at the FLA Live Arena. So we'll see what the Cats can do against the Blackhawks. David Dwork will join us at 1:00 with our ALennyLocksmith.com Panthers report. It's the lockdown segment. Marcel Louis-Jacques will join us at 12:30 with our myedgedrink.com Miami Dolphins report. At 11:30, it'll be Alan Poupart with our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins report. At 11:00, Michelle Kaufman will stop by from the Miami Herald. We'll talk a little Inter-Miami football also on Le Programme. Okay. Let's see. Other ways, obviously, to make a donation to the show is Cash App and Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. As always, appreciate all of you out there making donations. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. Big O, yesterday was like sitting at a bar drinking a beer and talking about random stuff. Yeah, we had it was one of those days where we had a lot of back and forth with the listeners, and they brought up a lot of stuff that we ended up talking about. Uber Beaner says, good morning, Big O. From my igloo in Anchorage, Alaska, I'm going to make a bet in Las Vegas that Tua is the winner of the MVP next season. I love it. That would be fun. Luke says, I would have traded Oladipo and Robinson for Pelicans Ingram. Well, the question is, would the Pelicans trade Ingram for him, for those two? That's the real question. But I would too, by the way. Hell yeah, I would trade him for those two guys. Big O Eric says, need to ask why Miami has not released Eric Rowe, and his contract makes 0 sense to have a backup safety making what he does, could use his cap number towards middle linebacker or a center. All right, Eric, let me walk you through what's going on, my friend. Until you grab that middle linebacker or center, you don't need to release Eric Rowe, and you don't need to release his salary. And so you might as well keep a cover safety, especially against tight ends, for now, because you have them under contract already. So what happens if you suffer injuries in the offseason and you never, maybe they're not going after Bobby Wagner or J.C. Treader like you think they are. So they don't need that money. But they're going to keep the player on the roster because what if one of the guys that they plan on starting gets injured? So then now you got to go to street free agency, and you're probably not going to find somebody better than Eric Rowe. So keep Eric Rowe around for your insurance policy purposes. Don't release him when you don't have to release him. Now, if JC Treader brings down his asking price and you think it's a good fit, then you bring Treader in and you start making moves to accommodate that salary. Simple. There's no hurry, there's no rush to release anybody unless you're really signing somebody. So it's not stopping you from acquiring anything whatsoever, Eric. So Eric Rowe, you might as well use him to your leverage than anything else because he's already under contract. And if you don't need him, Eric, releasing him now, next week, 3 months from now, it doesn't affect you whatsoever. So what's the difference? Keep him around until you don't need him anymore. Get my drift? So that's why there's no hurry or desire or desperation to make any kind of move like that until you have to make the move. So clearly, they're not interested in Wagner or Treader, or they're not interested in Wagner or Treader at current prices that they're asking. Apparently, neither is anyone else. So they're moving on. Okay. So that's what's going on, my brother. Has Tom Brady become the LeBron James of the Buccaneers? Nah, not even close. Now, I'll get to the Bruce Arians stuff and all that. But I'll tell you this. I see Tom Brady's thinking Miami Dolphins. Yeah. Yeah, somebody's been paying attention to the Miami Dolphins offseason. And look, I know how these GOATs work. Michael Jordan created all kinds of stuff to try to motivate himself, even if it wasn't true, right? Tom Brady at his age does the same thing. Kobe Bryant used to do that. Use the negativity out there to motivate him, the doubt out there to motivate him. Great players do that all the time. So Tom Brady is using the Miami Dolphins as motivation. That's right. That's right. You would think that the Miami Dolphins are looking across the state and saying, we want to be like Tampa. But no. We're already in Tom Brady's head. He's not even in the division. He's in the same state. And it's already making Tom Brady nervous because I don't see Dolphin players talking about Tom Brady, right? But I see Tom Brady talking about the Miami Dolphins. Have you seen his TikTok? Let's go to Tom Brady's latest TikTok post that clearly says he's thinking Miami Dolphins. Sean, please play Tom Brady, the GOAT, TB12's latest TikTok post.
Right on target to Jalen Waddle, and he is, it's here in the open.
Okay.
I say right foot creep, walking with that evil.
Right on target to Jalen Waddle, and he is, it's here in the open.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, we're going after your ass. We're going to own you, Tom. You see what's going on? The fastest duo in the NFL is going to take over, Tom. Tua is going to be the best quarterback in the state. Yes, Sean?
Did you notice the colors in the stained glass window there?
Yes. Aqua.
Okay, just wondering if you
orange.
saw aqua.
Yeah, I saw it. He doesn't do anything accidentally. Okay? Nothing. Everything is thought out. Everything is done with a purpose. But we're coming after you, Tom. You've had enough of the limelight. It's time for Mike McDaniel to darken that light. Put it out. Going to light it up, Tom. Do the Dolphins play the Bucs this year? Or does Tom Brady get a break and not face the Dolphins this year? Tom, you know what the Dolphins do to you. And now, we're coming at you, baby. And you see, you're already sensing it, Tom. From across the state, you're feeling the Mike McDaniel energy. You're going, oh my God, there's a lot of speed there. And Tom Brady right now is acting like he's taking that on, but secretly, he is regretting the fact that he's not the quarterback of the Miami Dolphins.
You're not in the regular season, maybe preseason.
But tell you what, Tom, we don't need you. We don't need you. We got Tua, and Tua's going to crush you this year. We're already in your head. Already. Huh? The GOAT is nervous about the Miami Dolphins. Ha. I saw that, and I said, that's it. Brady. We got him where we want him. D-Hat says that was filmed at Ross's house. Tom beat the living hell. That was last year, Pat. That was last year. That was Flo. No imagination. Doesn't know. Flo wouldn't know offense if it hit him on the head. Okay? If an offensive playbook that was like the golden ticket, all right, was sitting on his face, he still wouldn't know it was there. So, we can't count last year, with P-Brain Brian Flores destroying the offense, sabotaging Tua. No. We can't do that. Tom Brady got a break there last year because of, the only reason the Dolphins weren't in the damn playoffs is because of Brian Flores. That's what I love about some Dolphins. Oh, they fired the guy after a 7-game winning streak? No, you idiot. They fired the guy because he went 1-7. And they're not in the playoffs because of his dumb ass. I mean, this guy wanted Brissett over Tua. Forget about that. So they got the break last year. No more breaks. Do we play them this year or not? Because I don't even know the schedule. I don't even keep up with the damn schedule.
No, I was saying it unless it's preseason. It's not during the regular season.
Okay, unless preseason. Okay, I got you now. That's what you meant by that. Okay. All right, so then, hey, Tom, if you get to the Super Bowl, which I don't know if you'll get there, but the Dolphins will be there in Arizona. I know Sean Stanley and myself are going to be there Super Bowl week covering it. I don't know about Tom Brady, but if you happen to get there, then you'll see the hell before your eyes as Waddle and Hill will be all over the place. Don't jinx it, I'm not jinxing anything. I just played a video right now. Tom Brady nervous as hell. Didn't you see his face? He was shaking. He was trembling. Tell you. Good morning, everyone. Busy ass day today. Hope everyone is well. Thank you, Carlos. Daniel says, time to buy more crypto. Buy the dip. It's like a little dip. So, although I will tell you this, what's it called? I don't think it's like it's still holding well, by the way, which is one thing that's really, really good. But I see what he says because Bitcoin is down 1.3%. It's at 46,599. So yeah, that's kind of a dip right now. That is kind of a little bit of a dip. You could take advantage of that dip. I could, you know what? I think that one makes a lot of sense, my brother. Taking advantage of that little dip, why not? I think yeah. Yeah, that would qualify as what we would call a dip. Yes. By the way, if you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line is 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line. And by the way, if you are looking for a great attorneys, okay, and you're looking for a law firm that can protect you no matter what, maybe what's it called? Maybe you got in a little trouble like my man Masvidal. You know what I'm saying? Those kind of things. Maybe you need a little help there. Maybe bankruptcy, maybe personal injury, maybe you had an accident, maybe condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims. Call the great folks at Welt and Rayom right there. You see all the information next to me right there, man. Commercial claims and insurance litigation, criminal defense. They got you covered, man. They're good people. Jeff has been a long time supporter of the show, and him and Daniel do a great job. So I'm telling you, Welt and Rayom, you want to call them. 954-966-4646. Big O, have you talked about how Miami Dolphin tickets are selling out? No, I have not. But, I mean, it's not something that really is, not really. I'm glad. I'm hopeful, but it's not something that's like football-wise, But I'm glad that we're going to have a packed stadium. I just want our fans to walk away happy this year, man. I want them to be entertained. I want them to win. I want Mike McDaniel to have a ton of success. I want Tua to ball out. I'm tired of watching Dolphin fans suffer. I'm tired of watching Dolphin fans, emotionally invest so much into the team. Fans that buy tickets and airplane tickets and hotels and they go to great lengths to go see their teams play on the road. Maybe they don't live here in South Florida and they go see them in other places. There's too many of you deserve, success. And for me, that's who I want it more for. I want it more for all of you out there than anything else, because you're back here every year with me. I've been talking to some of you for a couple of weeks, some of you for months, some of you for a couple of years, some of you for maybe a couple decades. And through it all, as we build our friendships and our family here on this show, you're back every year, man. No matter how much we get frustrated and pissed off at Joe Philbin and Tony Sperano celebrating field goals and rest in peace, Tony, and all that, or Dave Wanster running his fingers through his hair, or Brian Flores that can't figure out an offense, and all of these frustrations that we've lived through, but we're back the next year. No matter how much crap any of you may talk about, you never really quit. You come back. Maybe you don't buy the same tickets. Maybe you don't buy tickets, but you're watching. You care. You love the team. And all of you deserve winning. You deserve to have some success, man. You've paid the price. Okay? I mean, those of us that have seen success, okay, now we've gone through a bad stretch, man. It's time for us to rebound. But what about young people that have never experienced any kind of success? Any Dolphin fan under 40 is so ultra miserable. It's terrible. So it's just one of those things that I want it more for all of you out there. I want all of you celebrating and going crazy and posting crazy ass stuff that after you win a title, you win 8 more or something, just that ecstasy, that orgasmic feeling that is winning, that we've experienced with the Canes, and we've experienced it with the Heat, and we've experienced it with the Marlins. Hopefully this year with the Panthers. That's really what I want more than anything else. I want the victories for all of you out there, because you're the ones that deserve it, man. You've been paying the price. The players, the faces changed, the coaches changed, the owners' faces have changed, but you're all the ones that stay there every single year. So you live through all the heartache every single year. The heartache of the 90s and the heartaches of the 2000s. It's been a long time, and you deserve better. And so I'm hoping that finally this is the combination that we've been waiting for. It's a pretty decent defense. If you can get that offense on track, I think the defense will be even better, and the team has a real chance to have some success. And I know some of you don't believe it, or will ever believe it, or can't imagine it, or whatever, but I in my heart, I feel that Tua will be one hell of a quarterback. If he just has what every quarterback needs, he just needs some help in certain areas. And I think he'll do the rest. And like I've said 100 times, you take care of that line in that running game, he'll be fine. He can handle everything else perfectly. And I know some of you don't believe it, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. Time will answer all, right? Kind of like the disbelievers of crypto or Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Time will prove you wrong, and you will see it. So let's hope so. Been a fan since '66. Used to watch the games from behind the fence on the open end of the Orange Bowl. I'm with you there, man. I've done that myself. I've done it myself. Rich V says, I know I'm going to cry like a little girl once I see our Finns win a Super Bowl. I might be there with you, brother. I might be there with you, hugging you in Arizona doing that this year. You never know. Tongues Ten Wolf or whatever that is there. It says, I bought my Tua jersey a while ago. I'm ready, baby. Jerry and Company says, I hope so, because there hasn't been a great QB from Bama since Kenny Stabler. No, you're right. You're right. It's one of those deals that they haven't had a ton of success at that. Now, they haven't been recruiting top-notch quarterbacks. I had this conversation with people. Nick was never recruiting dynamic quarterbacks. He was recruiting game managers because those teams were so loaded. But as college football changed and the passing game became even more important, look at the quarterbacks now. Mac Jones is in the NFL, right? Jalen Hurts is in the NFL, and Tua Tagovailoa is in the NFL. And this kid, Young, he's going to the NFL. You watched him as a freshman. So he is starting to go in that direction of the dynamic quarterback. And that's something that Alabama just never really did. They just, Brian Greasy, right? Isn't Greasy an Alabama kid? And he made it to a Pro Bowl. So, that was, the best that they did. They didn't really have, they really never went after dynamic quarterbacks at all. They weren't going after those 4-star, 5-star elite players. It was something that I don't know why. But now, look at what Saban's doing. He has changed his ways on that part of the quarterback. And now they're going after some of the top-notch, because Tua was an All-American. He was, from fresh out of high school, he was one of the top quarterbacks in the country. So whatever you think of them, Alabama quarterbacks now are starting to become NFL-type quarterbacks. And I'm not the biggest Jalen Hurts believer or anything like that. Great young man. Still don't think he's accurate enough. You know what I mean? But he's in the NFL, which is, it's a hell of a lot more to say than a ton of other Alabama quarterbacks over the years recently. You know what I mean? Oh, that's right. Greasy went to Michigan. You are correct. You are correct. What else? Right. Mike Shula coached at Alabama. That's it. That's it. That's it. You are correct, sir. And Mike Shula went to Alabama. That's where I also got it mixed up. Mike Shula also played at Alabama, right? From Columbus to Alabama. Didn't he? I'm pretty sure of that, actually. Look it up. Look it up for me there, Sean. Mike Shula. I thought he played for Alabama also, not just coached. I bought my Tua throwback jersey 2 days after we drafted him. Tua will be a beast. Screw the Flores worshipers. Bart Starr, Joe Willie, and Ken Stabler all went. Yeah, I know. But like he said, it's been a long time. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean that, it's a school that doesn't produce quarterbacks. It just hasn't really gone after those kind of quarterbacks. Back then, they were doing it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Big O, have you seen the documentary on Netflix called Trust No One about the Bitcoin scandal in Canada with Quadra CX platform? Crazy story. I have not seen it yet. I'll check it out. I remember watching Tua go to John Gruden's QB camp when he was in high school.
Yeah, it was Shula. He was a player and coach.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's probably where I got it mixed up. Yeah. So there you go. All right. What else do we have here on the program? By the way, Sloman's Home Shield. Protect your home the way Sean and I do. That's right. We protect our home with the Sloman's Shield. And by the way, Sean, isn't it an easy pad to use, right? Super easy pad to use. And that's what I love about it, because I'm not the brightest bulb in the chandelier. So I need to make it as easy as possible. And they do that. It's super convenient. I've told you in the past, if you've had alarm systems in your homes in the past, the sensors will wear out sometimes, over time. And on some systems, when a sensor's out, you can't even turn on the alarm. And on Sloman's, you can actually go to that specific sensor that's out and turn it off and still work your alarm system. So while you're waiting for somebody to come fix it, then you can at least still work the system and protect your home. And that's what it's all about. And right now, folks, we're giving away a free doorbell camera, and that doorbell camera is awesome. Picks up everything. It is crystal clear, the picture also. The mic is fantastic. You can talk and listen to everybody that comes to the door. So whether it's a delivery or somebody you don't even want to talk to, because that happened to me the other day when I was watching television. The dogs were going crazy, and my two big dogs are on the other side of the front door, just barking away, wanting to eat that person alive. And I'm seeing that, and it was like somebody. And by the way, they're still going door to door to sell stuff. So I didn't answer the door. I just let the dogs just greet them there, and sure enough, they left. And that's what I love about the doorbell camera. I see who's out there. And what I love about it is it connects directly to your smartphone. So it doesn't matter where you're at. You're always going to get alerts if anybody is in your yard, if somebody's in your front yard, if somebody's knocking on your front door. That's what you're going to love about your Sloman Shield. It is the protection that you're going to know about everything around you. We have 2 alarms. We have the Sloman Shield, and we have, 5 dogs. You get kind of close to our house, we're going to know. You know what I'm saying? But the Sloman Shield is peace of mind, folks. That's why. And right now, free doorbell camera, 1-800-ALARM-ME. And with the professional installation with our low-cost central station monitoring, when you use that, you're going to get an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and a backup battery. Tell them that Big O sent you. Say the Big O radio show when you call 1-800-ALARM-ME. We have the link below here on our YouTube page. Sloman's Home Security, baby. The Sloman's Home Shield. Get it for your business. Get it for your home. And Again, tell them that we sent you. Always, all of our sponsors, make sure you tell them that we sent you. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Chase said, somebody tried to tell me Mac was better than Tua at Bama. Stupidest thing I've ever heard. Tua revolutionized the SEC from run-heavy D to shootouts. Mac came in with Chase and Smith, putting up 2K yards. By the way, he beat out Mac for the position to start. So it's just, you know, the other day, Travis Wingfield put out a tweet about Tua, and I'm not even going to paraphrase what it was about and all that, but it kind of disgusted me. Not Travis, not the tweet, not anything that was said on it. I love Travis, love what he said. Everything was factual and everything was accurate. But what disgusts me for Travis, for me, for other people, is that we have to sit here and defend this kid, and we have to defend them to people that like think he's a scrub. And they didn't watch him at the highest level in the SEC, you know, win a national championship, be a clutch player. But no, because he's had no support whatsoever and he's gotten killed here for 2 years, everything is his fault and there's no way he can play. And he can't throw deep balls that you saw in Alabama. And actually, you've seen here a couple times, busted ribs, fractured finger and all, and he still throws a 50-yarder to Waddle. You know what I mean? Hell, the other day he showed he threw a 70-yarder, which rarely do those plays happen anyway, as it is. It's usually a 10, 15, 20, 30-yard pass that turns into a 70-yarder, but whatever. Okay? I mean, Pat Mahomes threw more short passes than Tua did last year. So, you know, but what disgusts me is that those of us that believe in Tua, like Travis, like myself, we have to sit here and defend this kid like he's a scrub, that we are like we think he might turn into a good player, so we're trying to defend him and all that. And I think most of us, I know Travis and myself probably look at it the same way, is we're trying to defend a guy that's actually a hell of a player, that's really going through some brutal times, and people don't see what's going on around him and the lack of support and all the crap that's contributed to his failures. And yet, somehow or another, they expect him to be, you know, the jolly green giant and be able to cast everything aside and not need an offensive line and a running game and all that. It's like our boy Joe Shad. I love Joe, bro. I've known Joe for 20 years. I will do anything for Joe Shad. He's a good dude. But I killed him when the other day was, well, you know, if the Dolphins could get Brady or Russell, but they've got to give him an offensive line and a running game. Meanwhile, he's hammering away at Tua, and I'm like, well, don't you think he needs a running game and an offensive line? Not just Russell Wilson or Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers who are available at that moment. It's like, this is the kind of crap that we deal with. You know what I mean? And so when I saw that tweet from Travis 2 days ago, that's what I thought of. I'm like, why do we have to keep defending this kid? You know, we're defending him like he's Pat freaking White or something. Like he's, what's the name of John Beck, AJ Feely. You know what I mean? Guys that I never thought could play, even when they drafted him. That's what it kind of feels like constantly, dude. That's another reason why I can't wait for this season. I can't wait to see them fix this issue and move on. And then when he balls out, then a hell of a lot of people are going to shut up. All right, let's get our number 2 ready to go. Michelle Kaufman will join us on the other side. Let's talk a little Inter Miami with Michelle Kaufman next.
you're ready to purchase a new home loan or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than a roof above the people you love. Call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411 and ask to speak to Tommy, the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs, led by their highly crafted, skilled, and professional roof mechanics. All of their previous customers have an opportunity to enter their bi-weekly drawings to receive free an exterior impact metal door. Please call for more details. That's Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411. Trust Tommy to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family. The Big O Radio Show is looking for an experienced salesperson in the radio or TV business. The candidate must have at least 5 years of sales experience in the broadcast business over the last 10 years. Please email your phone number and resume to bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. That's bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Looking for an aggressive person who can help our platform expand into many avenues in our business. Reach out if you are the person that's able to make a difference. Statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by HialeahParkCasino.com. Enjoy simulcast racing, dining, a magnificent poker room, and a casino with the most popular machines on the market. OKCoin.com. Download the app on iOS, Google Play, or Windows. OKCoin.com with over 50 different coins and incredible staking rewards. Pallet Rack City. There's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
The Big O Radio Show originates from the OK Coin Studios. OK Coin is one of the largest fiat to crypto trading platforms in the world. Founded in 2013. OK Coin offers advanced features for crypto beginners and high-volume traders alike, enabling users in 184 countries worldwide. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the OK Coin Studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Two, we're ready to rock. There she is. She's all over the place. Yes. Inter Miami. She is Michelle Kaufman. Make sure you subscribe to the Miami Herald like I do and support our local journalists who do a great job of covering all of our sports. And Michelle, you've done a lot of suffering on the Inter Miami beat, so I was really happy that you got some entertainment and some excitement out of the out
some
of the
wins,
yeah.
seeing some happy faces after a game in the Miami University of Miami run to the Elite Eight, which was so unexpected. And they really played amazing until that second half of Kansas. They just played out of their minds and had so much fun. And Coach L was in such a good mood and dancing again. And it was really fun to cover.
You did a great job, obviously, as always. And you brought us closer to the team throughout the run. And that was really, really cool. And, it's almost like Coach L, we all know that if Coach L, 10, 15, 20 years ago was running, UNC or any of these kind of schools, he would have multiple national titles and he would get the respect and be known as one of the best coaches in college basketball, which he is.
He is. The fact that he's taken George Mason to the Final Four and he's taken Miami to two Sweet 16s and an Elite Eight with no, I don't want to say not elite talent because it's just not, they were not McDonald's All-Americans. He does not have the guys who come out of high school with all the big pedigree. He takes transfers and cast-offs and turns them into elite talent. And the way they played this year, the way they played and moved the ball around and shared the ball, I mean, they, Spo said it. Eric Spoelstra said it the other night again. This guy is an outstanding coach, and he's doing it in a place that shows no support. I'm sorry, yay for all of you fans out there who jumped on the bandwagon in the month of March. But guess what? These guys were playing all season. I was there watching them, and there were very few people there. So they really, I hope that what they just did will maybe, spark some interest for next season, because these players and this coaching staff, he and his assistants deserve to have more support. They have had more success than the football team. I don't want to pick on the football team. I'm just saying Miami has won the ACC. Miami won the ACC basketball tournament over North Carolina. Miami just made the Elite Eight out of 368 teams in the United States. They were in the top 8. And they get no respect nationally. They were not ranked all season. We're not ranked ever in the top 25. And people even here in Miami don't go support them. So go figure.
No, and this is my point to all of this. The fact that we no longer have stars pretty much anymore in basketball. The one and dones are almost pretty much done because they're all going directly to the G League to get the money. The fact that it looks like college basketball more than ever now has become a more even level playing field. It's not completely even because you saw the Kansas players to Miami. They were bigger and more athletic, you can tell. But still, the gap has closed, which I think will allow a guy like Larinaga to actually have more success in this kind of an environment as opposed to Kentucky, UNC, and what's it called? Duke, having, each of them having 5 McDonald's All-Americans. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's better suited for the University of Miami basketball program to actually have more success moving forward.
Yes, I agree. I mean, it's changed. The transfer portal has made a huge difference this year, to be honest. Charlie Moore, he's the reason that this team did what it did. He is the reason that Cam McGusty, he's a big reason that Cam McGusty and Isaiah Wong and Jordan Miller played the way they did, because his passes, Jordan Miller would be standing under the basket and Charlie Moore is driving, and the defenders think that he's going to either shoot or drive. And in the last split second, he passes to Jordan Miller, tosses up a little tiny layup, and boom, 2 points. Charlie Miller had incredible vision, incredible passing, made everybody around him better. I mean, he was an incredible addition to this team through the transfer portal, and Jordan Miller too. Both of them ended up being starters and were fantastic. And so, Coach L right now and his staff are getting ready for the next group of transfers to find a new point guard and to find another big man to replace Sam Wardenberg.
Yeah. Wow. What a just amazing. And Charlie's just his his mind. You can tell he's just a great point guard. The vision, the intelligence is just awesome when you have those kind of guys. You see it with the Heat. When Kyle Lowry's running the offense, it's just a completely different offense than when all the other guys do it. They can get by, but there's nothing like Kyle, how he really can set everybody up and his vision and all of that. It's just, you can tell Moore is the same kind of dude. That's why he called him the Chris Paul of their team, because
yes.
that's what he is. He's exactly that at the college level. All right, so we talked about the good. Let's talk about the ugly now. That is the Inter Miami squad that, I don't know, they couldn't score with a fistful of dollars in a brothel. So I could use a better term. I wanted to use the other term with the W, but I'll go with brothel. Wow. I mean, what is going on? I almost feel like this is another one of those seasons where you'll get a little window during the year where they'll play for a few games well because they're young and they'll figure out, but it's just not going to be a really good team. I just don't see closers on here. I don't see people that can finish. And Higuain, oh my God, it's just like, it's like he forgot to finish the second he crossed the pond. I don't get it. It's just weird, man.
I know. It's depressing, really, to cover. We're objective where I'm covering these games, and my job is just to cover the games. But it's tough when you're covering. It's fun when you're covering a team that's winning and everybody's in a good mood. And then when you're covering a team that's played 4 games and still has not won a single game this year, and they've only scored 2 goals. They've only the 2 goals they scored was in a 5-1 loss and a 3-1 loss. That's it. So yeah, the team has been struggling for sure. We just talked to Phil Neville 2 days ago on Tuesday. It's been tough. He claims that they're looking better in practice. They're going to get some guys back from international duty, but see, these guys have been gone now. Yedlin has been gone. Damian Lowe has been gone. Quinteros has been gone. Ascona was gone. Mabika was gone. He was playing with Zambia, I think. So they had 5 players gone for 2 weeks who have not been in training. They're all flying back in today. I think Mabika already got in, but the other 4 are flying in today, and then they'll be able to train tomorrow. But in the meantime, Breck Shea is out for 6 to 8 weeks with an injury. Kieran Gibbs is out also. Again, he was out. He was back like 1 game, and now he's out again. So the left back position is still pretty shaky. They don't have much depth there. It's really tough. The one part I do think that Nick Marsman is on the cusp of coming back at goalkeeper. He's been out. He has not played since October. But he played for the reserve team, the other day, and apparently did very well and is just super hungry to get back out there. And he's a real leader in the back and all that. But as far as scoring goes, they need, like you said, Higuain, this guy, when you watch the highlight reels of him, we've talked about this when they first signed him, Orlando, a couple years ago, and you and I spoke, and we said, they need the assassin in the box. They need a guy with some attitude, a guy who's a little bit selfish, who's going to want the ball, and he's going to want to shoot, he's going to want to score. They got a guy like that, and if you watch all the videos of him in Juventus and Real Madrid, everywhere else, he's a finisher. But here, he has not been, and he keeps dropping further and further back into the attack. And, he's still not playing high up, which is where Phil really wanted him to play. And then Campana is, he had
the 1 goal.
Huh?
He had the 1 goal.
He has the 1 goal. He has the 1 goal. Robbie Robinson is coming back. He also was out. I know. You have your head in your hand with Robbie Robinson. I know. I like Ariel Lassiter. I think I have some hope in him. He's really fast, and he seems to be maybe one of their best hopes. I keep hearing about Bryce Duke, that he's another one who could bring a lot of energy, and he hasn't really had a chance to show anything yet. He's supposed to be a very dynamic player.
For a lack of a better term, we need a son of a bitch.
Yeah. Ruthless. I mean, Phil keeps using the word ruthless. We need somebody ruthless.
Cerna was ruthless. Cerna was ruthless, bro. Ruthless.
Yes.
He would run through you like a truck if he had to in order to score. It's just I don't see it. And that's and listen, I can't expect a young kid like some of these guys that you just mentioned to become Diego Serna or Lassiter or anybody like that. By the way, Higuain reminds me a lot of Lassiter, that he requires an exceptional 10 to really place it in a spot that can really say. The problem I see with Higuain is that he gets the ball and he still has to make a play to set himself up to get the kickoff. Right. I don't think he's that player anymore. I don't think he's fast enough for that. So he needs to be attacking and somebody setting him up where he's directly finishing the play.
Yeah,
and
he needs service. He needs room service. He needs room service on a silver platter,
Yes.
And they have a tough stretch.
He needs a Pibe to set him up and let him.
Let's bring in Pibe out of retirement. Listen, they have a tough stretch coming up. This Houston game Saturday is really, really huge because this is a game that on paper, and we know the sports is not, because I would have told you Cincinnati, a team that they beat 5-1, they would have had a good chance to win that game, and they lost 3-1. But after this game against Houston Saturday, which is at least at home, okay, they play at Seattle. They play New England first. They play New England here,
right,
which is always a tough out. We know what happened last year with them. They have New England here, then they have at Seattle, then they have Atlanta, and then at New England, and then Charlotte, a winnable game, but that's 5 games away. So, we're talking about in the first 10 games, they need to win this Houston game for many reasons. They need to win a game to gain some confidence, to get the, to rally the fan base, but also for themselves, just to gain some confidence. Like, we can win a game in this league. Right now, they have to be wondering because they've had 4 games and they haven't won yet. And I'm sure it's extremely frustrating and disappointed for them. And, everyone that I spoke to from them, they say that they're the leaders of the team are speaking out. The practices have been very intense. They've been working. One thing that will please you is Phil said that because most of those guys who are international duty were defenders, he joked that Christopher McVay has been playing 1-on-12 for the last 2 weeks. He said that because they haven't had many defenders in camp, all of the work has been on offense and the attack. He said pretty much for the last 10 days since the loss, all of their work has been on the attacking end of the field. They've done very little work on defense. They've been working exclusively on the attack, really because they don't have any defenders because everybody was gone or injured.
Well, they can't. So you know what? They can't score anyway, so they need to work on the attack also.
So they're working on the attack, and he said they have spent 10 days working on the attack. And we talked to Ariel Lassiter, and he said the same thing, that all of their work has been on the attack for the last 10 days. So it's time. It's time to score some goals on Saturday against Houston. It's time.
I was thinking about this. I don't know if David Beckham wants to be compared to Michael Jordan. And I'm not talking about the athlete. I'm talking about the executive. And that's one of the things that's starting to rear its head here 3 years in, because he's made his share of decisions here. And Neville is his guy. And, whether it was Matuidi or whatever, or Higuain, this was part of his doing. You know what I'm saying? So this is also becoming, I hope they're going to allow Chris Henderson to do his job, because he's the only one that I would trust to do the job. And I would hope that it's not David Beckham, because 3 years in, I've seen a lot of bad decisions by David Beckham so far.
Yeah, well, it's difficult to go from player to, there aren't that many examples of people who've gone from player to owner, front office, and done great. So
Jerry West and the Ozzie Newsomes are rare, man.
It's very rare. It's a whole different thing, being a player and being an owner. And but I do think that they give. I mean, from everything I've been told, even behind the scenes, off the record, whatever, they are giving Chris Henderson, full freedom. I mean, he is having full freedom, but he picked these guys that are out there now, and they need to come together and they need to start scoring. I mean, it's tough because they've all it's like a brand new team this year. By the way, this is not, I'm not saying this as a comparison with Phil Neville, just pointing out that Diego Alonso is now the coach of the Uruguayan national team that's going to the World Cup. He is. Yeah. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Oh, you didn't know that? Okay.
I did not know that he was the national coach of Uruguay.
He is the national coach. Go look at your Twitter. He is the national coach of Uruguay, which just finished in 3rd place. He brought them up. They hired him about 2.5 months ago or so. Or maybe 2 or 3 months ago, he was hired to be the Uruguay national coach. They are in 3rd place behind Brazil and Argentina, headed to the World Cup. There's pictures and videos of Diego Alonso celebrating on the field with the Uruguay national team on his way to the World Cup.
Good for him, bro. Good for
him.
I'm
happy for him. I'm happy for him because, to be honest, he didn't get a good chance. He did not get a good chance. And, and with Phil Neville, they're both coaches have been put in difficult situations. And, Diego Alonso came in here, 3 weeks before training camp. He had never met a single one of his players. That's a very difficult position to be in. And he
had no control over the roster that he inherited.
He had no control over the roster at all. He came in and, they finished in 10th in their first year. They made the fake little, the extended playoffs during COVID season. And he didn't do that bad, but they decided to make a change. And, who knows? I mean, it may not have been the coaching that was wrong. There may have been, it seems to me that it was not, because they brought in Phil and having a lot of the same issues that they had with Diego. So I don't think it was the coach in hindsight.
No, definitely. There was a lot of decisions out of his control. He inherited those DPs, which, we got to admit, I mean, I was working with them at that moment, but I couldn't say what I really felt. But who the hell gets Matuidi as a DP? I mean, that's pure stupidity. You get people that can score the damn goal for your DPs. You don't get a defensive holding midfielder there. That's ridiculous. Yeah. And that these are the things that happen with them. Pizarro just did not work out. And then you end up cheating. You end up with 5 DPs. How am I supposed to blame Diego for that with that kind of mess? I'm not.
Right. He walked into a mess. He did the best he could. To be honest, looking back on it, they didn't have any blowout losses in that year. They actually, they finished in 10th place. They did what you would expect. And then they fired him. And anyway, now he's on his way to the World Cup.
By the way, he played the guy that had a hat trick a couple of weeks ago. That used to be our guy.
Yes.
He played him the way he was supposed to be played. And then the following year, when he's not here, we saw him then not have the same kind of season because they didn't play him the right way. So, look, the only thing I had against Diego, and I blame Inter for this, is you went and got a coach that didn't speak the language.
Right.
And that doesn't fly, my brother. You cannot do that. If you're going to get a coach that's going to coach football, and I'm talking about soccer, that dude's got to be bilingual. He has to be bilingual. And if he's not bilingual, you're doing a disservice to your team. So that was another place where they dropped the ball. Diego had to take the job because he's going to take the money. So I don't blame him. Right. But on his part, he was at a deficiency from the get-go if you cannot actually communicate with people in the English language in this country. I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? So now
he's in the right place. You know what? He's the coach of the Uruguay national team, and they're in 3rd place and headed to Qatar. And
he's probably one of the best dressers in the World Cup. That's for damn sure.
So when you're watching the World Cup this winter, when you see Uruguay, you're going to see Diego Alonso there.
You know what? I'll root for Diego. Unless he's playing the U.S., I'll root for him. All right. So what's your gut tell you? They win Saturday? I guess it's hard for me to have.
I'm going to say that they're going to win Saturday. I'm going to say, look, law of averages. They haven't won in 4. This would be the 5th game. That would mean that they would have lost. That they would have not won in 5 games. I mean, that is definitely possible. But I'm going to say that they're going to beat Houston this Saturday.
Yeah, because in this interview, you basically told us that if they don't win here, their next chance is not till Charlotte.
They have New England, and then New England, then at Seattle, oy vey, then Atlanta back home, then at New England, another oy vey, and then Charlotte 5 games away. It's tough. It's a very tough start of the season, the next 5 games.
Yeah. Follow her on Twitter at Koff Sports, and make sure you subscribe to the Miami Herald and support. There you go. They're already calling her, breaking some news.
Calling.
Michelle, as always, thank you. I appreciate you.
All right. Take care.
You got it. There you go. The great Michelle Kaufman talking a little Inter Miami football. We love that. All right. What else do we have here on the program? Hey, don't forget, a little Nature B is for me. We tell you about the 2 golden capsules every single day. Plant pollen, all natural from clean green New Zealand. Mother Nature, no chemicals, no dudes, no women in coats, in lab coats making this. This is Mother Nature, which, by the way, my daughter's been taking it since she was a kid. She's 21 now. She's 22 now, actually. Damn, time flies. Anyway, so I've been taking it for 20 years. I stand by it. It boosts my immune system. That's my favorite thing about Nature B. And I say this all the time because it's the truth. If you watch me every day, if you listen every day, you rarely ever hear me with a cold. Yeah, sure, I get it once in a freaking blue moon, but I do get it. It's rare. And why? Because of Nature B. And in a virus-filled world, well, you might be vaccinated. You might be boosted. Hell, you might be double boosted now, right? But you still got to protect yourself. And maybe you're not vaccinated or boosted. Definitely get that Nature B. It also gives you some energy, too. So 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock rolls around and you're running out of gas, or right after you ate lunch, Nature B is going to power you through. Your fingernails, for you ladies, they're going to grow. See, I already got to cut mine. Your fingernails will grow long and strong and faster, by the way. Your hair is going to grow a lot faster also. So I'm telling you, folks, you can check out Nature B and check out all the other products. I love the soap. I use the soap all the time. The lip balm is also fantastic. So if you get the chapped lips, my wife loves the wrinkle cream. There's all kinds of different products. You can get free shipping on the plant pollen. Okay, 1 month supply, 3 month supply, 6 month supply. Get a 6-year supply. Whatever it is, folks. natureb.com and use my code. You see it there, right there. Big O, right there. Oh, right there. Big O. Use that code right there. Big O. It's a beautiful thing. All right, let's get ready. Let's talk a little Miami Dolphins football with Alan Poupart and our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins report.
Let's get ready to talk Dolphins football. It's the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins report with Sports Illustrated's Alan Poupart. With locations throughout South Florida, Sports Grill is the home of the special grilled wings. Check out our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road and 114th, and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza. Here's Miami Dolphins insider Alan Poupart.
Legend, that is Alan Poupart. All right, how you feeling?
Feel good yourself?
Feeling good? Very good. Can't complain. Where are you at right now?
I'm at a car place getting my car serviced.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right. Very, very nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Nothing wrong with that. But that's dedication right there. So Alan is going to be at the car dealership getting his car serviced. Later on, Marcel will join us, and he'll be at the golf course. So it's just. It's life, man. That's how we do it. That's how we roll. So let me ask you, did you see Tom Brady's TikTok post?
Yes.
He got nervous, huh? You saw how nervous? Sean, pull up his TikTok there. Let's show the world and Alan Poupart how nervous Tom Brady is about the Miami Dolphins. I mean, we are months away from the start of the season, and Tom Brady's already thinking about the Super Bowl when he sees the Dolphins. Now, see, I don't know if Tom Brady's going to make it to the Super Bowl. I know the Dolphins are. But let's watch. Go ahead. Here's Tom Brady getting mighty nervous about the Miami Dolphins.
Right on target to Jalen Waddle, and he is. It's here in the open.
Okay.
I say right foot creep, walking with that evil.
Right on target to Jalen.
There you go. There you go. So officially, Tom Brady is wearing Depends right now in the offseason, worried about the Dolphins. Did you see that? You saw the worry in his face.
No,
He had to put the glasses.
Yeah, but it's not how it was presented. When I saw it, somebody tweeted it saying, "Is he trying to say something?" You know, that ship has sailed. But it was funny. And Brady's gotten the person. I know that I'm not the one who brought it up.
I know.
No, but he's gotten funny since he left the Patriots, and it was allowed to have a personality.
Yeah, no, it's actually a great video. I love it. This Tom Brady, no matter how much he's brought hell to our lives, this Tom Brady's fun to follow, and I'm glad he didn't retire in a way. You know what I mean? Because that's the kind of stuff you want. But it also shows you that I think people are looking at it going, hey, man, Dolphins did some here in this offseason to kind of change their ways.
Well, no question. I mean, they had one of the fastest players in the league, and they added another fastest player in the league. So the thing that's interesting, though, that I need to bring up, and I don't want to be that guy, even though I've been accused of being that guy, is I think we need to get off the notion that bringing Tyreek Hill means a lot of long passes or a lot of yak, because the numbers just flat out don't support that. In fact, I was flabbergasted. I did research last year on every pass thrown to Tyreek Hill. And then I looked at the stats, the league stats. Would you know, my man, where he ranked in average yak in the NFL in 2021? It blew me away.
I know his numbers have gone down 3 straight years. I can also tell you that.
Dude, he was 95th in the NFL in yak, which, like I said, completely blew me away. But on
the opposite, how many plays did he have of longer yards that didn't need yak because he was already behind the defense?
Yeah, not that many. Do you know how many they attempted? 60. This isn't a story I wrote yesterday. They attempted 16 passes that traveled at least 30 yards, completed only 4 of them.
Yeah, he completes more passes, but shorter passes than Tua does. Actually, Mahomes.
No, correct.
That's what people don't realize, that he actually throws more short passes than Tua does.
There were a lot of
he did it too.
There were a lot of intermediate range stuff. No, there was a lot of intermediate range. Nice background, by the way. You like that? They're doing construction here on top of everything.
I like it. I like it.
No, the thing is, it's a good news, bad news situation. Is number one is this perception that he's coming here, and while the pressure's on to throw a lot of deep passes, no. But the flip side is he's like a chain mover more. That's what he's become. He's a chain mover because of his speed, and also the fact that he put such a fear in opposing defenses because of his speed. That's also mighty beneficial.
Yeah, I'm sure when you play them, they're probably playing 2 deep safeties all the time, so you're working a lot of the underneath stuff. So that's probably what's happening, and where that changes, and the job of Mike McDaniel and the rest of the staff is to make the running game punishing. And that's when you start to suck that other safety in the box. And then that's when you get the big plays from either your receivers or Mike Gesicki, by the way. Okay? Because, I know my man Omar is all this hooked up on Gesicki and because he doesn't block or all that, but the man can make plays downfield and he can be a big target, an easy target for Tua. So that's the difference there. I think that if you get that running game going, that it becomes a real threat, that's how you loosen things up and you can start to make bigger plays downfield. And I can't say that Kansas City owned a dominant running game. They had a good running game, but not a dominant running game. That's what you got to get.
No, it was very spotty. It wasn't like San Francisco's. That's for sure. They had games where they ran the ball really well. And let's not forget, if we're talking about another guy who can loosen the defense, Cedric Wilson is another guy like that. So no, they've added so many more options in the passing game and in the running game as well.
Yeah, no. So for me, that's where I kind of land on that. That it's just one of those where it's really up. This is why you brought Mike, and this is why he has his staff here. Fix the damn running game, fix the offensive line, because everything plays off of that. And then that's how Tyreek and Waddle can make big plays for you, I think, down the stretch. But it is funny how when you look at it, people don't realize that as great as Mahomes is, he throws a shit ton of short passes, all the time. But that's what the offense entails. So there's nothing wrong with that overall.
No, there's not a better screen team than the Chiefs.
Yeah. All right. So what are we looking at on in free agency? Because it's kind of come to a screeching halt. But we do have Gordon Geckos out there all over the place that are called Dolphin fans. And they all want, Wagner and J.C. Treader, and they don't want to stop buying players. Do you feel, what's your gut tell you? Have they stopped buying those kind of players?
I think more likely than not. I don't want to say no, because if I say no in 2 hours, they'll sign both of those players. Or then again, maybe I should say no to make the Dolphin fans happy, and they'll be more than happy to stuff it in my face that I was wrong. I would say more likely not. But and this is also the part where what you have is you have still a lot of high profile players. Tyrann Mathieu still out there, where we're at a point now where maybe teams are waiting out the players for their contract demands to slow down a little bit. And then this is where you revisit it in a week or so, and where something might happen. I think there may be a bit of a holding pattern. I think the Dolphins also have a couple of other issues they need to focus on, starting with the Xavier Howard situation. Chris Greer said this week, we're talking regularly, still hopeful he's going to be on the team. Well, it hasn't been done yet. And when he talks about Devontae Parker, or, our plans are still to be with him, for him to be with the team. Well, translation, we haven't gotten a good enough offer yet to move him, because, again, doesn't really figure for the investment they're making in him if they keep him on the roster for a fourth wide receiver who doesn't play special teams. Right.
Yeah, no, and I'm with you. I think they just haven't gotten, and maybe that's where draft day comes into play. That's where maybe Devontae gets moved at that point, because somebody in the middle of the draft is saying, well, we didn't get the receiver we needed.
Correct.
Let's trade that pick, that extra pick we've got, and let's go get Devontae Parker right now. He's better than what we're going to settle for, and we need a veteran wide receiver. So I think something like that could happen. Now, here's the $1 million question of the day that I want to ask you. Obviously, we all know X is a hell of a player and all that good stuff, and they're trying to work out a contract. If they don't have one by the draft, is he still on the roster after the draft? In your eyes, in your gut?
That's a great question. That's a great question. Yeah, I'm thinking in my gut they want a resolution before the draft,
right?
Because I think, and with the case with Parker, is there's a ceiling to how much you can get for either player. Like with Parker, it's the injury history. With Eck, it's the combination of the contract, the knee, and his age a little bit. So those three things. So because on talent alone, you're getting a 2 for Parker and you're getting a 1 for X, or maybe even a 1 and a 3 for X. But because of the other factors, you're not getting that. So it may be like for Parker, I have said all along, maybe it could come down to the Dolphins throwing in like a 4th or 5th round pick to a team for Parker in exchange for, let's say, like a 4 and Parker for a 2. Wow. something to that effect.
That's high.
And then with X, if they haven't resolved anything by draft time, maybe this is where it's X and something else, and you get a 2. Maybe you push it to 1, depending on what else you give up. But I do think the Dolphins, again, because the issue is, it's fabulous to clear up all that cap space and get rid of the constant headache of X's contract if you trade him, but then you create a massive hole on your defense, which you have worked really hard to bring back intact.
And the reason why I wanted to bring up that question is because you've paid so much money to other people. That's not going to sit well with X. And after the draft, you now then lose all leverage pretty much because now you can't move them for a while. And it just becomes an off season of hell now because now you're going back and forth about the money. And I think that if you don't get it resolved by the draft, then it shows that there's enough of a difference that it's going to be an issue that lingers. And so far, it hasn't gotten ugly like it was last year. But
well, they haven't had anything. They haven't had any meetings or camps or anything of the like. So there's nothing to get ugly because David Cantor, X's agent, is not saying anything, not negotiating through the media. So there's nothing going to be nasty until we get to training camp if he's still on the roster without a restructured contract, and then he has the quote-unquote hold in. Now, the Dolphins started the offseason program on Monday. I mean, it would be awesome, fabulous if X actually was there, which he wasn't at all of last year. I'm not expecting it in the least, but that would be a great positive sign for 2022 and X being on the roster if he was there.
That might be the pawn move to start the chess game if he's not there for the opening of that right there at that point, because then that tells you, yeah, there's too much of a difference right now for me to sacrifice myself to go there. Or he shows up but just stands on the sidelines and does nothing, and then it becomes an issue then because obviously
but if you remember, it's light work in the first 2 weeks. It's just conditioning and
but if
rehab.
he just stands there and not do anything, that'll be an issue.
If he shows up and then doesn't lift weights. Yeah,
right. If he shows up and doesn't want to do anything athletically because he might risk injury. So he's like, yeah, no, I'm here, but I'm not going to start practicing until you guys pay me. So that becomes a talking point.
But also remember, it's voluntary. So this is not technically he doesn't have to be there.
Good point. If it's voluntary, then we can. Then you really can't read too much into it. Unfortunately, if it's voluntary, then
it's quote unquote voluntary, but technically he's not doing anything to violate anything in his contract if he doesn't show up.
Ron is saying Robert Hunt is going to be the right tackle. Book it. And I got to tell you something.
That's what I've said all along.
That makes a lot of sense. That he could end up going to right tackle, and then you just have all the other guys, compete for that guard spot. And because Connor, we know, is probably going to win the left guard spot, but then you can have all those other guys compete for the right guard spot. Now, I'm sure they're first going to try Robert out to see if it works out well for him at right tackle. But that you think he ends up there when it's all said and done?
Yeah, I've said that all along. I mean, he looked fine to me toward the end of the 2020 season. And I didn't, to me, he played well at right guard, but it's not like he's Quentin Nelson. So I don't think I think to me, the gap between the next best option at right tackle and Hunt is bigger than the gap between Hunt at right guard and the next guy you would put there in his place. So I think, and right tackle when your quarterback's a lefty, to me, is more significant than the right guard. And I understand the issue.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and I understand the issue of wanting a really strong middle because you have a shorter quarterback, but there's something to be said about protecting his blind side as well. And I like Hunt at right tackle personally.
Yeah, no, it makes sense also. You look at the pick at 102, and I know you're a draft Nick, but again, it's still kind of maybe early in the process. I don't know how much work you've done yet. Have you even entertained what could be targeted in that third round?
Some kind of defensive player, my guess would be a linebacker or a DB, or a big body up front, because I think they need somebody to go along with Raekwon Davis as a pure nose tackle.
Oh, a D tackle. Okay.
Like a big space eater, because remember they had John Jenkins last year who wound up being inactive because they could work their way around it. But to me, it would be ideal if you get a guy, 2-down player. I don't care. That's fine. And this is the type of guy who, unless you're Jordan Davis, unless you're a freak like that, generally won't go first round, maybe not even second round. So you can get a good player, a good run stuffing specialist in the third round.
Not a running back like a James Cook that might land somewhere in that area.
Sure, there'd be nothing wrong with that. I think to me, the big defense D tackle is a bigger priority.
Yeah, no, I can see D tackle. I would think more linebacker is something that or another lineman. You know, if they felt like, you know, they like one of those guards type center type guys at that spot, because usually you can get some guards in the third round. That's usually where they go. You end up getting some pretty good guards at that point. All right, what are you working on in Sports Illustrated so folks can check you out, my friend?
Okay, well, I have a story, but I'm going to post up the second I get my car, go home. I don't want to divulge too much on it, but it's kind of like deals with expectations. And then I have part one of the mailbag coming out today. And then we'll stay on top of whatever might develop. Maybe Bobby Wagner signs in half an hour, and I was wrong as usual.
Yeah, you never know. I guess if they lower their price, it might happen. Maybe that's the reason why Tyrann Mathieu and Treader's had some injuries, and these guys are available out there still, because probably their price is a little too high right now.
Yeah, and I don't know how. I was going to say that I don't know how much cap space wiggle room the Saints now have, but after the retirement of Malcolm Jenkins, and considering Tyrann Mathieu played at LSU, seemed like a pretty logical fit for him to go over there.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. As long as he believes in Jameis Winston, then definitely go for it. Follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL. More importantly, bookmark his Dolphins NFL page there, because you will get stories all the time there for you Dolphin fans. Alan, as always, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you.
Have a good weekend, partner.
You got it. There you go. The great Alan Poupart and our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins report.
This has been the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report with Alan Poupart, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and never miss a report. Search Big O Radio Show on most platforms. Visit Sports Grill in our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road and 114th, and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza.
I hope you all are doing well out there. Remember, you can reach out to us on the Welt and Rayom text line, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056 if you want to get in. Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises. You see it right there in a board, right there in our frame. If you're looking to do your roof for your home or your business, please call my guys at Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises. The number, simple, 954-735-9826. Save it on that cell phone, 954-735-9826. And here's the challenge. The next listener that calls Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com and gets their roof done for their home or business, we are going to go to your home or business to do a free radio show out there. So I will come to your home and hang out with you and do a show. So the next person that calls Tommy and listen, I'm doing you a favor, because if you know your roof is kind of shady, and it's not, not shady like it's keeping you away from the sun. I'm talking like shady like it's breaking down. You don't want to wait. I want to do you a favor, because roofing companies, they're kind of lonely nowadays. They get all the business starting in June. From June on, dude, they're getting calls left and right. Why? Because people wait till the rainy season, and then all hell breaks loose, and they got the holes and all that stuff, or you still have a tarp. I'm telling you, folks, Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises, AAA plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. They've been at it for 25 years, family owned and operated, great people. The entire family watches and supports the show. They are a South Florida staple, okay, folks? So you can trust them. Call Tommy, get your roof done. Tommy will tell me, hey, I got the roof done. Oh, you can go do a show. So I will then get in contact with you, and we will do a show from your home or business, depending on whatever roof you got fixed for your home or business. So there you go. Hey, if it's for your business, that's like a free commercial for a couple of hours. Think about that. That's pretty good, actually. That's actually a double whammy because you're fixing your roof and then you're getting like free advertising for a couple of hours. That's a pretty good deal. So call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises, especially if your roof was on fire. All right. We don't need no water. Let's see. Caleb says 423 people in the chat. Y'all got to hit the like button for Big O. Yes, please. Thank you. Let's hit the like button, please. We need you guys to hit the like button. It is very important. We don't even have 200 likes, and we have over 400 people watching. Come on, man. Just reach over, hit that little thumb. It's very important, man. You're doing us a huge favor by hitting the like button and getting the algorithms going. And it gets other Heat fans and Dolphin fans and Marlin fans and Canes fans and all that good stuff, and even Inter Miami fans. I forgot to ask Michelle, because if you notice when you watch the games, they're trying not to show the crowds much. And I'm wondering if they're getting smaller and less people are going, because I know how our town is. If you don't entertain, we don't go, bro. And there is nothing entertaining about watching Inter Miami. It is like pulling freaking teeth to watch that team play. Seriously, it's bad, man. It is terrible to watch that team play. By the way, I'd be remiss if I did not mention we were supposed to be at Hialeah Park. So if any of you showed up today, I am so sorry that we could not be there. We had a little technical issue. We will be there tomorrow at Hialeah Park. Okay. The next week will be at Acura on Friday. Okay. So we'll push that to that date there. All right. So we'll do Acura then. What else do we have here? Timothy says, Big O, it's always good to hear the number one sports show for Dolphin fans. Fins up. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. NorCal says, Caleb, good call. I was slipping on hitting the like button. Just smashed it. And hit a J. There you go. NorCal knows how to do it right. He smashed the like button and then took a big, long toke. Let's see. Jeffrey Miladis says, good job, brother. God bless. Love the podcast. Thank you. Special Needs says, Big O, does nature improve heart health? No, I don't think heart health is not. It's healthier. It helps with your digestion. So those of you that maybe have some digestion issues, kind of helps settle your stomach. So it does help with digestion issues. It helps with energy, like I said. It helps in many different ways, but heart health, no, I don't. Have a little pomegranate. That might be a little better for the heart. That you might want to drink. Big O, I love this show. Thanks for always keeping it real. Thank you, Marcus. I appreciate you. Ian says, all you got to do is hit the like when you start watching. Simple. Wine is good for the heart. Yeah, they say a glass of wine, okay, a night, they say is good for you. I don't know. I like my wine. I like my Pinot Noir, but that's usually with a cigar in hand. So I rarely drink the wine. I drink usually with my cigar. But they do say a glass of wine every day is good for you. Bong Hits for Jesus, local rock band. Never heard of it. Bong Hits for Jesus. Who's the singer? The Pope Smokes Dope. Let's see. That's a Neil Rogers thing, by the way. For those of you that, may not know much about, local radio in South Florida and the history and all that. Neil Rogers had a bit that was called The Pope Smokes Dope. And so there you go. Just one of those things. Just figured I'd mention it just in case. It would be the perfect lead singer to go with that, right? You would figure that a singer for a band like that would be the Pope Smoking Dope. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I have, I wonder if I have that just for the hell of it. Do I have that? Let's see. Let me see if I have that. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think I have it. No.
You've seen him on Channel 7 News, first as a 2-bit reporter, now as a 2-bit anchor that wears more makeup than Tammy Faye Baker and Mary Kay combined. Rick Sanchez sings. Hear the dulcet tones of the man who brought you Crime Check, Rick Sanchez.
La cucaracha,
it is so hard.
Oh, I missed that man. I missed that man. Damn it. It was just a whole different world back in the day with Neil Rogers.
I can have an orgasm just driving down I-95. Ow!
That's it. That's what it is.
Boy, does he have a lot of chutzpah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dwayne Stomp, Substance Abuse Awareness Campaign. This is take 9. Dwayne, that's your cue.
Oh, right. Anytime you're ready.
We're ready, Dwayne.
Oh, hi. This is Dwayne Stomp of Blacktooth. Telling you, if you do drugs this weekend, don't drive.
Wrong again, Dwayne. It's don't do drugs. Don't do drugs.
That's what I said.
No, it's not. It's not even close to what you said.
You come in this booth, I'll show you how close it was, Sherlock.
We're going to do it again, Dwayne. Say, don't do drugs. If you must drink this holiday weekend, do not drive. Take 12.
This is Dwayne Stomp. Weekends are for drunks. Do drugs.
Okay, Dwayne, thank you very much for coming in. I think with a little editing, we've got something we can use.
Don't do drugs. And if
You must drink.
this holiday weekend, don't
Drive.
That's it.
Estoy estrangulando el pollo para acá.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Somebody's in the news.
Hey, there we go. Hey, y'all, my name is Clarence Eugene Thomas.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. I love it. All right. You guys good with that? Any more? You guys want more?
Yes.
Timothy Zappa says, good stuff, Big O. What a coincidence. Sitting next to Sean at the dealership right now. LOL. Cool dude. Sean? Sean? Sean's at the dealership? Okay.
How about a lady in Hollywood?
Yeah, Neil.
Thank goodness somebody's still on there. What's going on here? I guess those guys all ran out to get the operation.
And now this public service announcement about Sally Struthers.
For $90, you could clothe a child. For $90, you could help fight cancer. Or you could feed Sally Struthers for a whole day for just $90.
I'm Sally Struthers. Working with starving people like I do can make you pretty hungry. And since there's not enough food to go around here, my food has to be shipped in every day. Your $90 will keep me fat and sassy so I can set a good example for these skinny little Ethiopians.
Remember, it takes more than shoulder pads and a big hairdo for Sally to do good work. It also takes food.
That's still good.
Don't be a meathead. Give us $90. It'll feed Sally Struthers for a whole day.
Oh, man, I miss Neil. God, he was good. He was good. You guys, those of you that are young and you never really got to see, and you never got to experience the Neil Rogers show, you have no idea what you missed. And this was way before radio got, even worse than what, when it got bad like it is now. That is terrible. Josh says, I want the boxing tickets. Josh, next week, I promise you we'll give, tomorrow. We might give away some tomorrow. I'll talk to Steve Calabro. Maybe we'll give some away tomorrow. So tune in. Tomorrow you may have your chance to win some tickets. We will tell you. Let's see. Neil Rogers. Wow. One guy says, grew up in Indy with Bob and Tom. Another one. Yeah, that's the stuff that, you just don't get anymore, man. Tengo mucho pellejo en la punta. Yes, I remember that. Oh, is Will Smith a punk? I already talked about it. I don't repeat, but I will say this, just to not repeat. I understand the people that are mad at Will Smith. And I understand the people that say, yeah, my wife's got a disease. You're making fun of her. I'm going to kick your ass. It goes both ways. Not the right way to handle it. I get it. But I got to tell you something. I'm not a hypocrite. I can't say I wouldn't have handled it maybe even worse than that. Okay? Because I wouldn't have laughed at my wife who has a disease. That's where Will Smith screwed up. Because he started with a laugh and then he looked and he saw his wife was not happy. And I don't know what's gone on behind the scenes with them. You know what I mean? I don't know if that woman had trepidations of going to the Oscars because she was bald. And he was saying, no, honey, you look great, this and that. Which, by the way, Jada Pinkett is a beautiful woman without hair. She's one of those women that can actually pull it off. But nobody wants to. You can shave your head on your call. Nobody wants to lose it from a disease. And especially women. That's got to be devastating to a woman. So I understand both arguments. And so if you want to call him a douche because you would have risen above it and all that. And by the way, let me lay some of it on Jada. Here's something I will add a caveat to that I did not add to it. You could say Will Smith, you would have done the same thing. I might have. Or you could have said he should have shown restraint and then take care of it after. Backstage, whatever. Kick his ass backstage if you want. All of that. Fine. My wife has a point. And I know my wife because I've been with her for 34 years. If that moment would have happened and I see how disappointed she was. Okay, I get up and I'm pissed. I know my wife. She gets up and holds me and stops me and kind of calms me down. And then others will probably come in and join in and calm me down. And then I got to sit down. Because my wife told me that. She goes, I would have stopped you. I would have done whatever to stop you and say, no, not the place. I appreciate it. This, not, thank you. But no, not here. Don't do this now. So she's also at fault. Okay. So if you want to blame him, blame her too, in a way, if you want to. But if you understand him, I personally would not have slapped Chris Rock. I would have pummeled him. It's a little different. But, I get it. But I'm not going to sit here and tear apart Will Smith and say I'm above that I may not have lost it. I'm a hothead. So I might have lost it. My wife's got a disease and you're making fun of it on national television? No. So, yeah, it's I understand both, man. I understand both. Okay? And if you wanted to call me a douche or a jerk because I might have, gone a little crazy to stand up for my wife, then so be it. That's what I am. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, my God, I would have never done what Will Smith did. I'd be a liar. Because I know myself. The other night when these kids, almost rammed into our house and knocked the hell out of our wall and would have killed one of our dogs for sure. My dog roams the yard right there. When we take out Maiden and she runs around the yard, she runs to that side because that's where a lot of the cars and people walk by. So she's like running up and down that wall to attack whoever is on the other side of the wall, which she can't get to because it's, it's like a 6.5 foot wall or something. So those kids just barreled through that wall. They would have killed my dog or hurt my dog. I would have gotten in trouble. I love my dogs. You hurt my dogs, I'm hurting you, man. I'm sorry. I'm going to lose it. So I can't say that, oh my God, Will's a jerk. I would have never done that. I would be a hypocrite if I told you that because I know myself. I'm a hothead. So, and I'm going to protect my family. I'm going to protect my family. Oh, I'm going to protect my family. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I have a lot of restraint in that area at all. Sorry. So I guess I'm a jerk too for some of you out there. Jada seems narcissistic. Maybe she is. But my wife had a point. I got to give it to my wife on that one. She would have stood up and said, no, and all that stuff. I know her. She would have done that. That's in her DNA. You know what I mean? Her DNA is to protect me in any way, shape, and form so I can stay away from trouble or whatever it is. And she would have done that. Yeah. So so just in case, for those of you, which you've got the right, you don't like what Will Smith did, make sure you throw Jada in there. Because I think it's also the woman's responsibility at that moment to also help her man make right decisions, because that's what a marriage is. A marriage is two people that are in together in life, and all actions affect both. So if all actions affect both, then both should be a part of deciding what actions take place. And she failed in that. She failed her husband in that moment. That got blinded by her disappointment. And she should have done something about that. You know what I mean? So I'll go there if you want. Love it, Big O. Feel the same about my dogs. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, I told those kids, I said, you guys would have killed my dogs. One of you would have ended up in the hospital. The crash didn't get you in the hospital. I would have put you in the hospital. Yeah. There's no doubt in my mind. Okay? Yeah. I would have beat the crap out of those kids. I don't care. Yeah. That would have been, no, man. My God, I see Maiden hurt. Oh, man. Am I going to lose it? Especially that was that's the thing about there's a difference with these kids nowadays than when we grew up. And I hate to be the old man on the lawn, but I'm going to be the old man on the lawn. So when these three idiots barreled into my home a couple days ago, the parents get there of one of the kids. And so, the parents are disappointed, this and that, because it's one of those things. Are you all right? Yeah. Okay. So then how come, how are you? That's stupid. Once you find out they're all right, then you guys start asking the questions like, how did you do this? Like, how can you be this dumb and all that? And so the kids started snapping at their parents like, hey, I could have died. And you're just worried about the car and the insurance and all. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, I can't imagine if I did that to my dad. Right? Like, I can't imagine that if I did that to my mom or my dad. Like, what? I almost could have gotten hurt. What do you care about the car and the insurance and this, that? Man, my mom would have been whap, pa, boom, bam, bah. You don't pay insurance, you punk. You didn't work for the car, you idiot. You're not the one that has to deal with the insurance. The things of life, they didn't do anything. They just allowed the kid to step all over him. And I was like, whoa, that's not in this house. My daughter would never do that to me. Never in a million years. And I would have never done that to my parents, because the ass kicking I get after that, I wish I would have been in 10 car accidents after that instead of getting an ass kicking from my parents. You know, I saw that, and it's like, because you know how it is, right? When you make a bad mistake, first they ask, are you all right? Okay, you're all right? Okay, good. Ba, 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 ba. You know, what are you, stupid idiot? You know, right? Because that's how life was. Okay? I know it can't be like that now, but that's how life was. The level of ass kicking you would get. Like, those kids probably went out the next day like nothing. I would have never seen the light of day for months, dude. I would have never been able to use the car again. Because this wasn't a traffic ticket. No, dude, you were going fast and furious and doing donuts and all kinds of crap, and you end up destroying a house, a wall at least, a property. It's like 40 grand in damage, dude. I'm not joking. It's, you know, and it's just like, I saw the reaction from these kids, and it's like, wow. I go, my mom's here, y te vuelo un avión, as they say in Spanish. It's the NCIS Denozo. You know the Denozo? Anybody watch NCIS? When Denozo gets hit in the back of the head, bam, like that. Eso es un avión. Because it's like a plane. So Cubans call it that. Te vuelo un avión. I mean, seriously, come on, man. It's like, come on. I saw that. It's like, hey, Sean, did I take a break at the top of the hour? I did, right? Or didn't? No? All right, let's take a break for hour number 3 here. Final hour of the program right here on the Big O Radio Show.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by Caneswear. Go to caneswear.com, where all orders over $99 get free shipping. Sloman's Total Home Security. Protect your home with the best in the business. 1-800-ALARM-ME for the company serving America for nearly 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Tommy B. Butts Junior Enterprises.com. Licensed roofing contractor. 100% financing is available. Go to Tommy B. Butts Junior Enterprises.com.
The Big O Radio Show originates from the OK Coin Studios. OK Coin is one of the largest fiat to crypto trading platforms in the world. Founded in 2013, OK Coin offers advanced features for crypto beginners and high-volume traders alike, enabling users in 184 countries worldwide. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the OK Coin Studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Thank you. Yes, one of you did point out that I'm the idiot. I got my house in the way of those kids. That's true. It's just not a smart thing. So we're all good. We'll all figure it out. We'll all move forward. And luckily, they were insured. Thank God. Thank God. Progressive. Yeah. So hopefully everything will be taken care of. I better take care of it. Damn it. Just destroyed the whole damn thing. Holy crap. Anyway, sad news. Did you guys hear about Bruce Willis, aphasia, which I have no idea. It's bore, they say, from strokes, and Bruce Willis has shown cognitive issues, memory loss, confusion, and now reports are saying that he was kind of showing those signs in his last couple of movies that he did. And so right now in the statement released on Wednesday, it says the veteran movie star's family announced that he's been diagnosed with aphasia, a condition that affects the ability to communicate. Bruce's amazing supporters as a family, we wanted to share that our beloved Bruce has been experiencing some health issues and has recently been diagnosed with aphasia, which is impacting his cognitive abilities. As a result of this, and with much consideration, Bruce is stepping away from the career that has meant so much to him. The family statement signed by wife Emma, ex-wife Demi, and daughters Rumor, Scout, Tallulah, Mabel, and Evelyn. And so I got a demand for, I've been a Bruce Willis fan forever. There's so many of his movies, starting off all the way to, his days in Moonlighting, which is kind of where he burst onto the scene. And what's it called? What's this woman's name in Moonlighting now that I'm forgetting her name? Very beautiful woman, man. Blonde. I'm forgetting her damn name now. Somebody help me out there, man. Had a major crush on her back in the 80s, back in those days, and she was in the scene for a long, long time. Now I don't know why I'm forgetting, but their chemistry was just absolutely awesome. The dialogue that went between those two, Sybil Shepherd, thank you, Troy. Sybil and him, that was just one of those shows. And, Booger from the Nerds was in it and all that. And that the goofy girl and the receptionist that always had the rhymes when she would answer the phones. That was one of those. I loved Moonlighting, dude. And he burst onto the scene there, and then obviously his career took off, and the Die Hards and everything else, and all the other movies that he's done over the years. And I always, I've seen most of his movies. I enjoy most of his work. You know what I mean? And to hear, we all want to go out on our terms, don't we? And it's you don't want to see a guy that vibrant, a guy with that kind of life, and the guy that's brought us a ton of entertainment, some of the most famous characters in the history of movies. John McClane is, Jesus. Is John McClane not one of the top 10 movie characters of all time? Hells to the yeah. And wow, just so, I watched my dad just completely deteriorate to nothing. And it was heartbreaking to watch. And I just can't imagine. You're really better off just going. You're just better off going from one second to another, because like this is just so sad, because you can't be yourself. Your loved ones don't see who you really are anymore. And you kind of, and this is, what's the fear of all of us, especially men. I know men have this, those of us that have some scruples. We don't want to be a burden on anybody. Like, we want to be the supporters. We want to be the pillars of stability. We want to be the people that you lean on, fathers and husbands. That's how we look at our household, at our families. We want everybody to lean on us. We never want to be the ones that they have to then cater to us. No. That's unacceptable. Okay? It's about, your moment, your birthday. Mine doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the way I carry you. Like, they tell, oh, it's your birthday. I'm like, I don't care, man. We'll go celebrate yours. We'll have some fun, all that. Mine, I don't care about. You know what I mean? And I think most men, most fathers and husbands with scruples, I think, feel the same way. They want to be the ones to be leaned on. We don't want to be the ones that are a burden on. You know what I mean? And this is something that Bruce has no control over now. And it's just tough. It's just tough, man. Life just freaking smacks you sometimes that it's disgusting. All right. Time now. We know so we like going over sports and business when it collides. And when it collides, sports and business, that's when we go to our KSDT CPA Sports Business Report. All right, as you all know, some of you know, Sean knows specifically. Sean knows that I've been working hard on trying to build a home away from home for us in Las Vegas. And why? Because in Las Vegas, they've got the hockey team, and maybe we could go cover the Panthers and the Knights in the Stanley Cup, or maybe in a regular season game if we feel like it. It's an important game down the stretch in a year or two or three. Boxing matches, UFC, Dolphins taking on the Raiders. The East West Shrine is there. The NBA Summer League is there. There's all kinds of events in Las Vegas, and a lot of sporting events that we need to cover. Pro Bowl also, I don't know if I mentioned that. So there's all kinds of stuff, even, crypto events, crypto Bitcoin, conventions or crypto conventions. We're going to start going to those things down the line. All of those kind of things we want to cover in Las Vegas. So we are in the process. In fact, when I go up to Vegas next month, at the end of the month, I'm going to stay there for a couple of days trying to negotiate a home for us so we can go back and forth and cover all those kind of events. Well, guess what, Sean? I know, Sean, you like the cars that go vroom. Okay. And so I can't find a more, modern term than that, right? I got to go back to Tigra and or Tigra and something, and we like the boom. But anyways, the vroom. Actually, the vroom. We like the cars that go vroom, right? So Formula One has announced a deal to stage a night race at the famous Las Vegas Strip. A Formula One night race in Las Vegas. Sean, I don't know, bro, but that sounds like an event that the big old radio show needs to cover. I don't know about you. I mean, you can stay here in South Florida, Sean, in 2023. If you don't want to go to Las Vegas to enjoy an F1 race at night, you don't have to go, Sean. Okay? I don't want to twist your arm. He's just showing thumbs up like, you better get my ass there. Anyway, it's a major coup. American owners Liberty Media joined the calendar next season on an expected initial 3-year contract. It sees Formula One's return to Las Vegas for the first time since 1984, the last 4 Grand Prix staged in the car park of Caesars Palace. It is anticipated that the race will be staged in the second half of November, possibly to coincide with Thanksgiving weekend in America. The race will also defer from recent Formula One traditions by taking place on a Saturday and could start as late as 10 p.m. local time, ensuring viewers in a series of European heartlands they'll be able to watch on a Sunday morning. This is an incredible moment for Formula One that demonstrates the huge appeal and growth of our sport with a third race in the U.S. Remember, we have one here in South Florida. Las Vegas is a destination known around the world for its excitement, hospitality, thrills, and, of course, the famous Strip. There is no better place for Formula One to race than in the global entertainment capital of the world, and we cannot wait to be here next year. That's freaking awesome.
Hey, Oak.
Yes, sir.
I haven't been to Vegas, so I don't know, but how much is that going to sidetrack the traffic there? Because that's basically going to be shut down for a week because you got practice, you've got everything else. So you're talking about that whole that strip and stuff.
Well, they have back alley entrances to some of the hotels that you'll be able to go through. They have a monorail system that connects. I was thinking about this the other day. I'm shocked that Elon Musk has not told them, and I don't know why Vegas hasn't done this. Why haven't they built a subway system? I that's the part I don't understand. Vegas is perfect for a subway system. That would be ideal. So you can get around up and down the strip. Can you imagine you're at Caesars and you just get on the subway and it takes you straight down to Fremont Street? And from Fremont Street, if you want to go all the way up to the Luxor, you can go do it. And if you have one that crosses Tropicana, right? You have one down the strip and then across from Tropicana, you can take it across and go to In-N-Out Burgers, or you can go to the Pinball Hall of Fame. Hey, come on, dude. I've got it down pat here, bro. I'm set. Let's go, Vegas people. Get it done. That's what they need. But yes, no, it's going to create havoc. And let me tell you, wait till you see it. You're going to get a taste of it now twice in the next couple of months because you're going next month, Sean, for the first time. And then you're coming back in July for the NBA Summer League. And you're going to see traffic is terrible, dude. Terrible. So that's kind of why I'm glad that we went and got the Airbnb instead. So we're kind of out of the craziness of the hotel stuff. And we could just go visit any hotel that we want to and just pull into their parking lot, and that's it. And we don't have to be, walking a ton. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's going to open it up for us a little bit there. The whole country should have a modern train system. Yeah, no, but I mean Vegas. If you've been to Vegas, Vegas is perfect for subway. Like, just beautiful, dude. It would be so convenient for so many people. You should have a subway system that takes you just right outside the city where you can have like a major parking lot. So a lot of the workers could actually park there and take the subway right into the city, and it's less cars in downtown and all that, and they could save themselves a lot of hassle, you know? Big O, people prefer to drive drunk in Vegas. Willie says, USFL in my Disney fantasy world. Vegas wants you to go through the malls. Well, there you go. Well, you can walk. Once you get off the subway, you walk through all the malls. That's all. But but I mean, they do have a monorail system above, but you should put one below. I think it would be a lot easier for you. But hey, there's a lot of method behind the madness, right? For all of this kind of stuff. The aliens live underground out there. Well, that's probably true. They moved over from Area 51. That would make a lot of sense. Yeah. All right, let's talk a little football with the let's talk a little Miami Dolphins, a little NFL. Marcel Louis-Jacques, baby, and our Edge energy drink, Miami Dolphins report.
Time to get the edge on the Miami Dolphins with our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report. When you want the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste, you can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com. Here's ESPN Dolphin insider Marcel Louis-Jacques.
All right, baby, here we go. There he is. How's your golf outing going so far? How bad are you?
All right. Well, before we got on this call, I had back-to-back cars. And then, while I'm trying to hurry up, make sure I get on here on time, I went ahead and doubled my last hole. So, it was off to a good start here. But we bounced back after this.
So the pressure got to you and you choked, is what
There's
you're
a
saying.
reason I'm not on the tour. Oh, there's a reason.
Okay.
That's
All right.
the reason. That's the only
right.
thing.
All right.
Other than
Hey,
that,
listen,
the game is
listen.
still ready.
I'm sure you're doing a hell of a lot better than I am because all I ever do is drink beer, smoke cigars, and just, spray the ball all over the place. I usually take about 47 balls with me, and I may have one or two left over when I'm done. But, hey, the fun is there, and that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying?
That is all that matters. We're having a good time. It's 80-some-odd degrees out here. It's Florida living. This is what all my friends that don't live here ask me, oh, how much golf are you playing? You out on the course? You doing this? I don't go out nearly as often as I should. So celebrate a quiet day by having a fun one.
All right, I like it. The $1 million question I am asking today, and I asked it of Alan Poupar, and I'm going to ask it of you. We know that they're trying to negotiate a deal with X, and X is going to want his money, right? Because he deserves his money, and he's going to want to get paid. Do we have a deadline? And is that deadline draft day? By draft weekend, do they need to have a deal in place with X? Or could it get, a little uglier with X if he doesn't get his money by draft day, that then they lose opportunities there and they may need to ride it out a little bit more. So do you think the draft may be the deadline by when they have to get a deal done with X?
It depends on what kind of good faith they have in this front office. I think both sides want X back in Miami. I think there's enough trust on both sides to know that even if something doesn't get done by draft weekend, that doesn't represent some sort of deadline. I'm very interested come Monday because, since there's a new coach, Mike McDaniel, they can start their offseason workout regime 2 weeks before any other team. I am interested in whether X feels the need to show up to that. But again, I don't think that there's any hard deadline. And sorry about the wind here. I don't think there's any hard deadline. I think there's, again, enough good faith on both sides to know that they'll be able to hammer something out before the start of training camp, preferably.
By the way, who are you golfing with, and are they constantly bothering you about Dolphin information? Because, when I go out with my buds or whoever, it's constantly trying to, find out dirt about the Dolphins that you didn't write about or I didn't say on the air. Come on, tell me this, tell me that. So are you getting some of that during this golf outing?
I'm not going to dox anybody I'm out on the course with, but I can say everybody's in the industry. So it's less bothering about news and more, I guess, trading opinions. We can say that.
Oh, okay. So wait a minute. Who's there with you?
I told you, man. I'm not doxing anybody.
You can't tell me who's in the foursome there with you guys in the media?
I cannot, man. It's a secret society here. Secret fraternity, man. You're going to get me kicked out.
Anybody else from our family there? Can you tell us that at least?
Maybe not. Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
So Cameron Wolf is there with you? Is that Cameron Wolf in the background? Who's that in the background?
I can't confirm or deny.
I'm trying to figure out who the hell that is back there. Who the hell is that back there? Are they any good? Are you the worst golfer out of the group?
No, not at all. It was a nice shot. No, he just knocked it on the green. Actually, from probably about 180 out. Yeah,
So
it's closer to 110.
So it's people on our beat, is what you're saying, on the Dolphins beat that you're with.
At least one.
At least one. Okay. It's certainly not Adam Beasley, because he can't golf for anything. He has zero athleticism, I'm sure of that. So it's not Adam Beasley. Who else?
I've golfed with Beasley a couple times. He's fine. He's all right, man.
Are you sure?
He's like all of us, man. Everybody's got their moments.
I don't know. I don't think Adam Beasley can golf at all. I think you're lying there on that one. I don't know. I don't think Adam Beasley doesn't look like a golfer to me at all whatsoever. I don't know about that.
Nah, man,
all right,
he's got his like everybody.
We're not going to get
got
any
his
dirt.
moments.
All right, we're not going to get any dirt on who the foursome is here, or a threesome, or twosome. What is it? A threesome, twosome, or foursome? What is it?
We got three. We got three.
All right, good stuff there. All right, so are the Dolphins done for big names, or are they waiting for the middle linebacker to lower his number? J.C. Treader, because of injury history, to lower his number. The GM already said they're not going after Tyrann Mathieu. So I don't know if you guys asked him about Treader and the other one, but are they done with that level free agent is the question.
It would be we're just going to have to see. We're just going to have to see. And I know that sounds like a cop-out. They, at the very least, they sound content to bring a bulk of this roster, to bring a version of this roster into training camp. I know Mike McDaniel said, hey, we're not done. But I think a lot of their work moving forward has more to do with building chemistry and acclimating to his system and the new playbook, rather than it does adding pieces that are going to make a noticeable impact. Treader is something to keep an eye on, but I thought it was very interesting that Chris Greer kind of lauded Michael Dieter and basically said that knee injury was a freak injury last year. It was his first under center, which does make sense. That is the reasonable conclusion to come to. It's his first under center. He wasn't really able to properly develop, but he does get interest from around the league every offseason. And every time you have, let's say you have something, you have a thing, and all of your friends keep asking, hey, man, how much do you want for that? And how much can I pay you for that? What would you trade for that? Then you have to start to wonder, okay, maybe this is a little more valuable than I'm giving it credit for. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this is a collector's item after all. Maybe I should put this on the shelf for a little while or properly take care of it. So I think that's what they're going to do. I think Dieter is somebody they want to see develop. He's somebody that whose presence they like in the locker room. And, he wasn't bad at center. He just didn't really have time to fill that role. I mean, he missed, I think it was 11 games last season, or 9 to 11 games last season.
He missed a lot.
He didn't have time to really develop after winning the job there in training camp. So I think they're content to bring him in. Draft-wise, they're in a position to really draft the best player available. So if that is an interior offensive lineman who's got center flexibility, I think that would be it would be a strong move, just in case somebody at center, one of the guards doesn't work out, or they need to move Rob Hunt back over to right tackle, and Jackson or Eichenberg don't work out at right guard. Then they have somebody who they can kind of plug in the gap there in the future. But as far as big names go, I don't know. I think if I had to put money on any of them, which I don't want to do, but if I had to, I would guess maybe Bobby Wagner would be the case. I would say maybe don't count them out there. They did bring back their entire inside linebacker room, but there are no standouts per se in that room. Like, there's no standouts, there's no star in that room. It's kind of like
there's not even a Bobby Wagner at 87 years old.
There is no Bobby Wagner in the inside linebacker room. You can quote me on that. They do not have a Bobby Wagner on roster right now. So maybe don't count them out there, but I just wouldn't expect. You do have to keep some money for your draft picks, even though they got rid of 2 of them. You do need to keep some money around to sign a vet during the season, just in case somebody is a surprise release, or you need to fill in a gap after an injury or something of the sort. You do need to keep some flexibility around there. Not to mention, you do have some guys that are going to want to get paid soon. Andrew Van Ginkel is going to want to get paid. Christian Wilkins is going to want to get paid. Mike Gesicki or Durham Smythe. Well, Smythe's on for 2 years, but Mike Gesicki is eventually going to want to get paid. So you need to keep a little bit of flexibility, a little bit of wiggle room for that. Not to mention, of course, you got to sign Xavier Howard, and you're going to have to give him, something sweet off the top in order to, again, in order to further preserve that relationship.
And I think also with the O-line part, I think they feel the way I have felt all last year. I don't believe all 5 linemen are terrible like some people think. Oh, they missed on all these linemen. I think all those people that think that, they're wrong. I think there's going to be a few good guys there, and I think they see the same thing. They just felt it was coaching that failed them, and that's why they only added 2 guys, because they feel the rest of these guys are going to fill in the rest. And maybe that's why you won't see a J.C. Treader or any other move. They're expecting that the coaching is what's going to make a difference now on the offensive line and for those players. Agree?
Yeah, and I mean that's basically what I've been saying on the show for the past month, right? That this staff does not necessarily see offensive line as big of a concern as the outside world does, as fans do, and as other media members do. And I mean, we got to think of it logically, right? They spent 4 top 100 picks on the offensive line over the past few years. You're not going to miss on every single one of those picks.
Right. By the way, I can also tell you, not only is Adam Beasley not there, neither is Omar Kelly. There's no way Omar Kelly's playing golf with you either. That's another guy I don't see on the golf course whatsoever.
No, golf is not Omar's sport.
Right. So I'm right on those 2, right? Those 2 are not there.
Yeah, I can confirm that. If we're playing, what was that? What's that game? The little board game where you flip down the faces after guessing like characteristics. Oh, does he have glasses? Do they have freckles? What do they have brown hair? You're playing that little. Somebody in the comments help me out, man. One of y'all I know. No one of y'all knows what I'm talking about here.
Oh wait, Sean,
Guess
open your
who?
mic. Huh?
Guess
who?
Guess who? You're playing Guess Who.
Okay. All right. I like it. All right. What are you working on ESPN so folks can check you out after you stop golfing?
It should have come out today, but where the Dolphins go from here, based around Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer's comments at the league meeting this past week, basically discussing, okay, like this is the state of the offense. This is what they need to do from here. This is where, like I said before, the additions that they need to make, like the moves that they need to make, are more internal than external at this point. Like they need to build chemistry. They need to learn the system. They need to find their position. On the line, it sounds like there's going to be a little bit of shuffling on that offensive line if we listen to what McDaniel said on Monday. And then furthermore, the story, the feature I've got going on about the charity work and the community work that Jalen Phillips and Jalen Waddle and Christian Wilkins and a couple of their teammates have been able to do over the past couple of weeks. Really excited to get that one out there. Still just been wrapping up interviews for it, but that should be coming probably in the coming weeks, maybe as soon as next week.
There you go. So check it out at ESPN. By the way, is there a bet on this game?
Not at all, man. Not at all. Just a fun day at the yard.
Okay. All right. Well, of course you're going to have fun. You don't have Beasley or Omar with you. I mean, that would be a disaster if you had. That would be a disaster if you had those guys. And you don't have Poupart with you because Poupart was fixing his car at the dealership. So I know Poupart isn't there either. Salguero is definitely not there. I know Salguero's not there because he's not very sociable. So that's definitely not true. He's definitely not there. He doesn't go out with anybody. I'm right also, right?
Yeah, none of those people. I feel like that's You know,
Like the easy one?
Yeah, that's low hanging fruit. That's the word. That's the phrase we're looking for.
I did. I went with the low hanging fruit. I did. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ. Catch his work there at ESPN. And of course, you can catch him twice a week here, where he does some bad golfing and he does some great interviews, giving you the you have no edge on the golf course, right? That's really you have no edge on the golf course, right? Is that what you're telling us?
I have no edge on the golf. That's cold, man. That's cold. I'm trying to. I had my edge until I had to come on the show, man. You take my edge from me.
We made you nervous. Damn, dude. Tell you, we had higher expectations for you, Marcel. Higher expectations for you, bro. All right, so go get a hole in one now. Go get a hole in one now. All right.
I can do that, man. Thanks for having me.
You got it, brother. Thank you, as always. Appreciate you. There you go. Marcel Louis Jacques, baby, with no edge whatsoever on the golf course.
You now have the edge on the Miami Dolphins with the Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins Report featuring ESPN's Marcel Louis Jacques. Get the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste. You can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com.
I can tell you for sure Joe Shad also not there. That I can tell you for sure. Okay? Guaranteed he's not there. There's not a lot of people left. But I did go with the low-hanging fruit. Like I knew Salguero would, like Salguero doesn't go out with anybody. So I knew he wasn't going to be there. Omar is not a golfer. Neither is, Beasley. Come on. Beasley's going to go out there to have a few drinks, maybe. He's not going to be golfing. And then who was the other one? Hal Habib, probably not there either. Pretty sure I nailed most of those. Those were all perfect right there. What course? You know what? I didn't ask him what course he was at, Chad. I have no idea. Wherever he's at, I'm sure he's having fun. Cameron could be there. I would venture to say that Cameron Wolf was in that mix. That makes sense to me. I'm going to go Cameron Wolf was the second one. And third, I'm going to say it was like a Dolphin PR guy. So they didn't want to put him on camera or something like that. That's what I'm going to go with. Okay. No, they're not in the breakers. Those are reporters that had to pay to be on the course. They're not at the breakers. Okay. I guarantee you they're at another fine course here in South Florida, but not the breakers. Okay. All right. They're definitely not on that island golfing. Those guys are in Broward somewhere golfing. I don't know what course, but they're in Broward, my brother. They are nowhere near the breakers. Everybody's gone from the breakers. Oh, Lordy, I love it. All right. Travis could be there. Travis, I see Travis as a golfer. He looks to me, Travis looks like the dude that's going to kill you in the putting and everything, right? He looks like that. He looks like that young man that like he's laughing at you, taking your money, killing you in the greens. Yeah, that looks like Travis Wingfield. Oh, man. A couple of notes on the music side. Angus Young, happy birthday. 67 today. Christopher Walken is 79. Foo Fighters, by the way, have canceled their entire tour, obviously due to the death of Taylor Hawkins. And you think about this. So the Foo Fighters canceled their entire tour. They're heartbroken and all that, which you would expect. But the Stones, like lose Bill Wyman, who's been with them for like 80 years, and they're like, we're moving on. Like right away. AC/DC, what? Brian, huh? Brian, huh? Brian, I can't hear you. We're leaving with Axl. So for those of you that don't know, Brian Johnson had trouble hearing. and he couldn't hear. So he could not sing because you got to hear yourself in order to sing. And he had to get some machine that he was able to find that was able to revitalize his hearing after all these years of being on stage. And they had a tour going. AC/DC didn't cancel. They finished the tour. They went and got Axl Rose. I saw one of those shows. Those are going to become legendary shows because there were only a couple to end the tour and only a couple cities got to see Axl Rose fronting AC/DC, which was super cool. But my point is, AC/DC was like, Brian, huh? See ya. They didn't wait. Who was it recently also? Oh, ZZ Top. I mean, one of the three guys, not Frank Beard. It was Frank Beard's the drummer. It was the Dusty Hill, the bassist and singer. He passes away. And dude, they waste no time. They just continue traveling. And look, I get it. I'm sure they would all want it that way and then continue and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, the Foo Fighters are one of the few bands lately that actually had a member die, and they're actually going to take some time to grieve. They actually canceled an entire entire tour for them. Everyone else has said, we're moving on. Retirement, death, we're moving on. It's amazing. By the way, the Red Hot Chili Peppers will be on tomorrow on Jimmy Kimmel, Friday night, April 1st, just in case. Now, do you guys want to hear who is the biggest douchebag in music right now? Anybody want to guess who the biggest? No, it's not Will Smith. Stop it. Okay? It's not Will Smith. It's a country singer. His name is Eric Church. So, Eric Church loves college basketball. He loves it so much, he canceled his concert in San Antonio at the AT&T Center on April 2nd so he can go see the Tar Heels take on Duke in the Final Four. He says, according to this letter, the fan club, which he calls the church choir, what a load of crap. The superstar scrapped the show to attend a once-in-a-lifetime Final Four. He sent this letter to his fans, to the church choir. This Saturday, my family and I are going to stand together to cheer on the Tar Heels as the team has made it to the Final Four. As a lifelong Carolina basketball fan, I've watched Carolina and Duke battle over the years, but to have them match up in the Final Four for the first time in the history of the NCAA tournament in any sports enthusiast's dream. This is also the most selfish thing I've ever asked a choir to do, to give up your Saturday night plans with us so I can have this moment with my family and sports community. However, it's the same type of passion felt by the people who fill the seats at our concerts that make us to want to be a part of a crowd of a game this significant. So, Wordy Durham always said, go where you go and do what you want to do. Thanks for letting me go here and be with the Tar Heels. So fans started piling in. Eric Church just canceled his first San Antonio concert for the Final Four. I made numerous out-of-town trips to go see him. Mixed feelings. I appreciate his passion for the team, but not going to lie, I'm pretty mad. Dude didn't even reschedule. Just canceled. Absolutely unacceptable. My husband and I have tickets to your show this weekend in San Antonio, plus our hotel room because we live in Austin. And you canceled because you want to go see a basketball game? Hashtag no longer a fan. This is really messed up by Eric Church. He cancels San Antonio concert Saturday to watch basketball. How could he do this to those fans? Some people planned an entire vacation to fly here for the concert. I hope he gets sued and 4 flat tires on his way to the game. That won't stop him. He'll get an Uber. Eric Church canceling a concert that your fans have bought tickets so you can go see a basketball game seems like a selfish, self-centered, disrespectful move. Being country used to be being a man of your word. You're bailing on your obligation to go watch a basketball game. How shameful. Bailing on events generated financial loss for more than just season ticket holders. No way Eric Church canceled the San Antonio show that I've had tickets for a year. Hialeah Park is going to have boxing on May 7th. I know some of you are going, what a segue. Anyway, so I am going to go to Las Vegas. We're leaving on the 25th or 26th, I think it is, whatever it is, a Tuesday. And we're going to be there, Wednesday through I'm going to be there for like 9 days, actually. Sean's going to be there like 5 days, and then he's gone. But I'm going to be there 9 days because I'm doing some other business also. So I'm going to watch a concert on the 4th, which is Biffy Clyro, one of my favorite bands. I'm going to fly back on the 5th. Why? We have a weigh-in show on the 6th that I have to be at, and the 7th, the boxing event. Right? Do you know what the 6th and the 7th is? What I wanted to go to? Pearl Jam in Los Angeles. I won the lottery for the tickets. I gave it to a friend of mine so he can go. Because I couldn't buy the tickets. Because I have responsibilities. I have a sponsor. How does Eric Church for a basketball game, dude? Like, you're a star, bro. You sold out an arena. People are traveling from all over to go see you. They're renting hotels, buying plane tickets, renting cars. They're paying a lot of money. That's disgusting what he's doing. That's unacceptable. Like, just because you want to go, well, dude, too bad. You made the commitment. Commit to thousands of people that committed to you, man. Let me tell you something. I'm not much of a country fan. There's a couple things, modern day country's all right because it's got a little rock and pop in it. So there's some stuff I like. But if I was like a specific fan of that dude, I would never be a fan of again. If I was traveling and everything, and then you did that because you want, too bad, bro. You don't get to go. You got to live up to your responsibilities. That's a shame, man. That's a shame, dude. Like that is, it's shameful that you would do something like that. Quite honestly. Ah, Lordy. I think you guys are telling me there's a dip going on. Yeah, baby. Big dip. Yeah, Bitcoin dropped to 45 for you guys out there. Little Cardano dip down to 116. Well, it was at 79 cents, 116. There you go, a little dip, a little extra for you all out there. Take advantage. Take advantage. All right. Let's get ready. Let's get ready to talk a little Okie, baby. The Panthers are getting ready for tonight. They got the Blackhawks at the FLA Live Arena. And David Dwork, he's got it locked down on our LennyLocksmith.com Florida Panthers segment. That's next.
Time for the Lockdown segment with Florida Panthers insider David Dwork. This lockdown is brought to you by A. Lenny Locksmith Services. Count on them 24 hours a day. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com. Here's WPLG Local 10 insider David Dwork.
There he is. As you know, every Tuesday, every Thursday, you've got the Lockdown segment here on the program. We get to talk a little Panthers, the best team in town, as they get ready to take on the Blackhawks. How you doing, my friend? You doing all right?
I'm good, Big O. Ready to roll. It's nice to have some games locally again for a change after they were on the road for so long. But yeah, man, I'm good.
Yeah, and the coach wanted this team to get better on the road. Remember, that was kind of the thing here in this second half. They weren't necessarily happy with their production on the road in the first half of the season. That changed in the second half, and I would imagine Burnett's a little happier with the results.
Yeah, I don't think there was a huge concern in the first half of the season from the team standpoint, because they were struggling on the road, just because they knew what they had in that room and they knew that what they were capable of on the ice, and they just kind of figured that it was going to come around as it has. But still, it's really nice to see, right? You don't want to have a little something hanging over the team as they head towards the playoffs. Well, they're really good, but they struggle on the road. But the power play is not so great. So it's nice that they have time and opportunity to get these things straightened out. Obviously, on the road, they've been one of the best teams in the league in 2022.
Well, they were
like
a 500 team before.
Yeah.
Remember? So, you got to give the coaches are coaches. Even after wins, they'll find 8,000 things that went wrong in the damn game, and they'll make the players feel like crap. Like, yo, dude, I thought we won here. What the hell's going on? But it was a little light kicking in the ass that it was like a reminder, like, hey, guys, we're a great team. Let's start showing it on the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's good that it gives them something to kind of strive for in a season like this, where like they've kind of had a playoff spot locked up for a while. They're a playoff team, which as traditional Panthers fans will tell you is not a norm. No. So they've got that locked up. They're competing for a top seed, but it really gives them like these other small goals to really strive for and shoot to attain during the season, whether it's being a better team on the road, which they have become, whether it's getting your special teams together, which it's been a work in progress. And when you lose a guy like Aaron Ekblad, obviously it throws a wrench into the gears. They've got these things to kind of sharpen, tighten the screws a little bit heading into the postseason, which, with 17 games left on the schedule right now. Yeah. I think the priority, seeing how good they've been on home ice, like you talk about how good they are on the road. On home ice, they're damn near unstoppable. They're scoring 5-6 goals a game. You really want to get that number one seed locked up and guarantee yourself home ice advantage throughout the Eastern Conference playoffs.
But, I just thought about this with 17 games left. I don't know what the record is, like 105, 106 points. Brother, they're going to crush whatever the franchise record is. What is the franchise? You would know that. What the hell is a franchise record? Because they're at 96 right now with 17 games left. They're going to add a lot of points.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. If you'll give me a second.
I don't know why 105 or 106 or something came up in my mind.
103.
103.
2015-16, the year they had that awesome that 12-game winning streak. That was like the first real fun. Barkov was on that line with
right?
Yager.
Fleischman was one of the guys. Right?
Fleischman was the 2012 year that they went to the playoffs.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, with the Stephen Weiss year with Jose Theodore as the goalie.
Yeah, that's right.
But
Weiss' record just broken now. Yeah.
Sorry, no, they're gonna shatter that record. They're like Huberdeau is breaking these crazy records, like you just talked about. He just broke Stephen Weiss's record for franchise games played. It's that kind of year. Finally, I mean, really, it's not like these are like crazy huge records that they're breaking. But in terms of like the franchise and what they've been through for the last 3 decades, it's nice to see them kind of getting to the top of some of these mountains and breaking through to the next level.
Can I be a little bit of a dick? Can I?
It's your show.
Yeah, I know. But you know what I love about all this? These records are now being set by really good players.
Yeah.
Stephen Weiss was, a nice player, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're talking about
for sure.
We're talking about Barkov, we're talking about guys and Ekblad and all that. They're going to start setting these Panther records for years to come, and these are the milestones that you want to set on your franchise. These are the kind of players you want owning these records. And it also shows you the greatness of this ownership, because nobody has ever created the stability that Viola and Sifu have created in order for you to draft, keep great players on a long-term basis. And finally, we have that kind of ownership now that, yes, I can be a little bit of a dick and say, hey, I'm glad that the Huberdeaus and the Barkovs and the Ekblads of the world and all these other young guys that are coming up are the ones that are really going to set the records for these Panthers, because these are the teams that are actually going to, accomplish great things. And I like that.
Yeah, like these are the guys that you're going to see their numbers up in the rafters someday. Like these are the foundational pieces. And, credit goes to former GM Dale Talon because he's the one that drafted Barkov, Huberdeau, Ekblad, the three pillars to your foundation right now. The guys that are going to lead this team to the promised land. The guys who, like I said, their jerseys are going to be hanging. And so, yeah, like no knock on Stephen Weiss or Ole Jokinen. We love OJ. And they were great NHL players. But Huberdeau, Barkov, Ekblad, they are superstar players. They are, if they continue on this path, they will be in the Hall of Fame discussion type of players. They are that good. And for the Panthers to have them, and you pointed out the ownership, like that's one thing, particularly Jonathan Huberdeau, he brings it up a lot, how grateful he is for Mr. Viola and Mr. Sifu for them to give the commitment to the team, to put in the finances, to make that kind of financial commitment. I mean, these are investors. They know what it is. So yes, it is 100%. It's kind of everything falling into place. It's making the right draft picks. It's having the right ownership to be able to nourish that, to not only sign them long-term, but to be able to sign guys around them, the Bennetts, the Duclairs, the Forslings, the guys that they're giving these deals to that are going to help maintain this foundation. It's a situation, that the Panthers have the Panthers have never been in their history. They've never had this kind of talent and this kind of nurturement from the top down. The front office is in place. It's just a good time to be a Panthers fan.
I'm with you. Is Bob starting today?
He is. Bob will be in goal tonight.
All right, good. So when we talked to George on Tuesday, I was wondering, are they going to ease him in? And he thinks they're going to heavy load him down the stretch to kind of get him ready for the playoffs. Is you feel the same way? Is that what it's going to be? Because I misread it. I thought it was they'll use Knight a couple games and then use Bob a game and then keep Bob fresh for the playoffs. It's kind of the reverse. It's now time to turn it up and kind of a pre-playoff preparation. In other words, these next 17 games. Is that the way it is?
I'm not sure. I think if you look at how they handled the goaltending situation all season, that would lead you to think that they're going to start leaning heavily on Bob again, because that seems to be what they've done. If there's been, whether it's been an injury or, they gave Knight a few extra starts because Bob was under the weather. But usually if all is right in the world, it's Bob's job to roll with. However, because of what we saw with Spencer Knight getting all those games on the road trip, and then we saw him get 2 out of the 3 on the last road trip, it kind of makes me think, okay, are they giving Knight a look too? Have they seen enough from Bob? So that's I'm curious to see how it plays out over the next few weeks, to see if they just go back to riding Bob and hoping that he can get through it, or if they want to see what they have. Personally, and I've talked about it a lot this year, I'm not really that sold on Bob, just because he's so inconsistent. And I mean, looking at strictly the numbers are fine. Like this month, Bob is 6-0. His goals against is 2.4, which is not bad. His save percentage is just above 900, which is not great. But looking at his record on the season, I mean, the guy with 32-6 and 3 on the year, 2.6 goals against, 914 save percentage. Those are decent numbers. You would think, okay, that's your starter, that's your guy. But we're watching every game. We're watching Bob in and out, and it just doesn't sell me as a guy you're gonna ride him through the playoffs. And that's my one main concern with this team heading into it, is if they have to lean on a goaltender, who is it going to be? Right now, I don't know who that guy would be. I'm hoping that they can continue. Yeah, they're going to have to keep scoring 4+ goals a game to really make me feel confident that they're a cup contender, a cup probable team. They've got a roster built like it. The only thing is the goaltending going to be there? Because there's going to be games in the playoffs where you have to ride your goalie. Your goalie's going to have to win it for you. And I'm not confident right now that Bob will be that guy game in and game out.
I'm not enough of a historian in hockey to know this, so I can't answer this question, but you know more than I ever will, so I'm going to ask you this question. What is the norm in hockey when you have a great offense, which the Panthers have the best offense on the planet, and they have an offense like we've never seen before. So when other franchises have had those kind of offenses, is there a little bit of a lapse with the goalie because the goalie knows, dude, I never have to be great because these guys are great every night. And so there's a little bit of a letdown. How many times do we run into the great offense and the Beezer type performance between the pipes? You know what I'm saying? Where you're not allowing a goal, but you're winning all your games 4-5 and 6-0. I don't know what's the commonality with all that stuff. I don't know the history. Well, in 85, this team was like that. In 92, that was in 2000. I can do that in football and in basketball because that's, I can't do that in hockey. So explain that one to me.
Well, I got one on both ends of the spectrum. And for one end, you go back just to last season. You got a team like Colorado, who is, again, really good this year. But last year, they were lighting the world on fire in the playoffs. I think they won their first 6 games of the playoffs by 2 or more goals. This is a team that was looking like a juggernaut. And then Vegas suddenly started adding a forward. They started pushing another forward into the neutral zone. They started clamping Colorado in their own end, limiting their speed. And that series switched on a dime, and Colorado was out in the second round. They went from looking like a juggernaut to being completely shut down because that one dimension of their game.
Were they a juggernaut the whole year and the playoffs? Because you made it sound like they were a juggernaut late in the season.
No, Colorado was what they are this year. They were top of the standings. They were looking like a cup favorite. And as soon as Vegas mucked up the neutral zone, as soon as Vegas started bogging down their speed, Colorado did not look like that juggernaut team anymore, and they were knocked out. Now, the last time I can
depend on their goalie to shut them down. I got you.
Yeah, I mean, they switched up their whole goaltending situation in the offseason. They went out and got Darcy Kemper, and they let what's it called? They let Varlamov go up to, or excuse me, they let Grubauer go up to Seattle.
Okay.
And then, but you look at when you make me think of a team that their offense was so good that it didn't matter in the playoffs. It just takes me back to Detroit in 96, 97, 98. That team. They had decent goaltending, Chris Osgood, Mike Vernon, but I mean, not elite goaltending.
Right. Forsberg and all those guys were monsters. Right. I remember. Yes.
Yeah. They had to shut down those ridiculous Colorado teams.
Yeah, I remember.
But I mean, you're talking about Yzerman. I think Brendan Shanahan was on those teams. Nick Lidstrom was there, Aaron Ekblad, Sergei Fedorov. I mean, they were stacked.
Yeah.
And they swept back-to-back finals against Philly and against Washington. And so that was a team, the last time I could really think of a team that was just so potent and just so powerful in what they did that it didn't really matter what the opponent was doing. If Florida can maintain that level on their offense, if they can be that kind of a juggernaut, which we've seen them throughout the regular season, especially at home, especially on home ice.
Yes.
If they can continue that into the playoffs where it's going to get a lot harder, then the goaltending won't be as big of an issue. But the Eastern Conference is so top heavy that whoever you end up playing, whether it's the teams in your own division, whether it's Tampa and Boston and Toronto, or whether it's on the other side, Carolina, New York, the Capitals, the Penguins, any of those teams, you're gonna have a hard challenge getting through the Eastern Conference. So I would love to get a little bit more confident in the goaltending between now and the regular season ending. Hopefully, it doesn't make a difference, and they are like what they've been in the regular season, which has been an offense that hasn't been seen since those Detroit teams in the 90s. If they can continue that in the playoffs, then all will be right in the world. And we'll have to wait and see how it plays out.
That's why I asked, because, you wonder, human nature. Bob, there is no desperation in his mind right now because, that his offense just gives him such a comfort zone that it's just simply amazing to watch what the Panthers have been able to accomplish this year on offense. All right, health-wise, how are they going into this game tonight?
Well, tonight they're going to be without Anton Lundell, who's getting really close. I mean, I've seen him the last 2 morning skates, and he's been the first skater on the ice both times, full of energy, big smile. Like, he came over and he was waving at us in the media today when we were, hanging out for the morning skate. I think he's pretty much ready to go. He's not going to play tonight, but I would expect to see him out there when they play in the weekend back-to-back, and that's a huge get back in your lineup.
There's no rush.
No, that's the thing.
Get him healthy because he has played like a 10-year veteran, bro.
Yeah.
And this is a kid that probably can't shave still, right? How old is he? Right?
20.
20, right? I bet he probably doesn't have 3 hairs on his face. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's amazing, dude. Lundell has been, wow, man.
Yeah, man.
Damn.
So he
All
should
right,
be
so
back
we're
this
out Lundell?
weekend.
Mhm.
Yeah, Hornquist is also day-to-day. Achari's day-to-day. Hornquist skated before the skate on his own this morning. Achari did not skate today. Neither one is anything long-term. So, and as you said, like they've got so much depth. You can give these guys an extra couple of days to heal up. There's no rush to get anybody back in the lineup. And that includes Aaron Ekblad, who we're still looking at an early May return. Bruno did kind of give an update on him. He hasn't started skating yet, but he does look good. He's moving around, and he said he's kind of, if he had to guess, he'd be ahead of schedule like he was last year.
But they have no choice.
He
He can't return to the playoffs anyway, right? Because of the salary cap thing.
Yeah,
They're not
it's
gonna
all
allow
kind
him
of
to return, right?
It's all lining up to that he'll be back right around that first round series starting. And again, at the end of the day, that's the name of the game right now. Is you want to be firing on all cylinders when we go from April to May, when the playoffs start. And right now, barring anything major happening between now and then, they look like they're on pace to do just that.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. They look absolutely fantastic. All right. Give us a preview. Blackhawks tonight. What do the Panthers got to do tonight to get another W?
Keep the foot on the gas, man. I mean, this is a Chicago team that hasn't been great defensively. The Panthers have been an offensive juggernaut at home this year. Just do what you do. Control the puck. Hang on to the puck. Keep the puck in your possession. And good things will happen at FLA Live Arena. It'll be kind of a special night because Jonathan Taves on the Blackhawks is playing in his 1,000th NHL game. So that's kind of a cool milestone for him. Somebody that's, a 3-time champion. Bruno said he's one of the most competitive guys he's ever met. So a cool moment on the other side of the ice. But honestly, I would expect a big Panthers win would be anything but that would be surprising based on how good they are, how not good the Blackhawks are, and where they're playing, which is on home ice for the Panthers.
All right, man. Bruno's done a fantastic job driving this ship, man. He has. There's no doubt about it. Follow David on Twitter at David Dwork. Catch his work there at WPLG and Chirping the Cats. That's the podcast, baby. So you can stay in touch with everything going on Florida Panthers. David, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. We'll catch up next week.
My pleasure, brother. Be well.
You got it. There you go. The great David Dwork, baby, joining us here on Le Programme. Always appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me see. What else do I have here that I wanted to talk about? I got a couple stories that I can save for tomorrow, actually. Although I will tell you this. Did you see Brian Windhorst talking about LeBron James? We talked about this. Was it yesterday, the day before? I told you I know LeBron is one of the greatest players of all time. I'll never put him in Jordan's class. But I told you personally, I'm not a fan of how he's handled things and how he has screwed teams over. And I want to give Brian Windhorst a little love here because he described LeBron James to a T, and the way he described him and how he handles his business is so true. And he says about LeBron that LeBron is a team builder, but ultimately a team destroyer. He says LeBron's career operates in a 4-year increments. He wears his team out. I call it organizational fatigue. It happened the first time in Cleveland. They ran out of picks. They had a bunch of guys in their mid-30s. Shaq close to the finish line. Antoine Jameson. He goes to Miami. 4 years, great run. They run out of draft picks. In his last game, 3 guys retired after the game. He goes to Cleveland. 4 years, great run. They run out of draft picks. They got old guys. Here we are in LA. 4th year, oldest team we've seen in NBA history. They're out of draft picks. They're exhausted. It just comes with the territory, bro. Yeah, you get a great player, but bro, you get a whiny bitch that is constantly worried about everything and wants to control everything and sets you up that your team is a disaster. And I get it. You'll win your title because you won your title. Even though I still think the Cleveland and LA ones are kind of, yeah, you got a little luck there, buddy. You know, in the end, do you know what I'm going to say about his career? If he stays in Miami, he wins way more titles. That's the fact. That's the fact. Miami already got to another finals without him, and injuries helped him win the title. And this year, they're back to being a good team, better than his team. Oh, and by the way, they have 0 superstars on the Miami Heat. 0. Not one player is a superstar on the Miami Heat. All-stars, yes. No superstars. He would have won more here. But the way Brian Windhorst describes him is exactly the way I have felt about him. That, yeah, he comes into your organization, but, dude, he is disruptive. And then he leaves your organization in shambles when he takes off. Because you had to do everything that he wanted. Sucks, bro. That part there blows. Anyway, we will have a loaded show for you tomorrow on the program, like we normally do. Ira Winderman will join us. Manny Navarro will stop by. Omar Kelly will enlighten us with his presence. And Cameron Wolf will have his usual stay here also with us. So 4 excellent interviews tomorrow. We will get it going at 10 a.m. live from Hialeah Park. We will be at Hialeah Park tomorrow. I guarantee that. So if you happen to be in the area, we'll be there at Hialeah Park. All right. We thank, let's see, who do we have today? We thank Michelle Kaufman, Alan Poupart, Marcel Louis-Jacques, and David Dwork. All of them, thank you. And again, if you want to split $100 of Bitcoin, listen to me now. Do not reach out to OKCoin. Okay? It's my link that I have to share with you. Okay? Do not reach out to OKCoin. Reach out to me. Send me an email at bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. I'll send you the link. Send me a DM on Twitter at Big O Show. I'll send you the link. If you want, there's a dip right now. You may want to take advantage right now. Anyway, we will see you tomorrow. Thanks to Sean Stanley mastering this program. See you tomorrow, same time, same place, same bat channel. Have a good one.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.